Alrighty, and we are live. Alright, everyone. This is session 5. We have all survived thus far. This is Roll for Severity, our homebrew D&D campaign. We stream our sessions live every second Sunday at 5 p.m. PST here at twitch.tv/rollforseverity. If you want to catch up on previous episodes as a subscriber, you can gain access to episodes immediately after they've aired over on our channel's VODs. For those who aren't subscribers, we upload all our episodes to YouTube 1 week after they initially air, and you can search us on YouTube under Roll for Severity, or there is a link somewhere down below the stream, somewhere.
Somewhere in the wall of text.
Over in this abyss area. I'm Almond Seal, the DM for this campaign. I am joined by my amazing players, and they deserve boatloads of kudos. They put up with my bullshit. We've got Not Nathan, Mel, Jamie, and Jeanette. And we've actually updated Not Nathan's tile to say Not Nathan. Before we get the session underway, I've got a few things to go over. One, this is a homebrew D&D campaign. We have variant rules, adjustments. I butcher and homebrew most of the stuff that's in this. And so the rules are not necessarily always as written. It's just how we roll. 2, each month we donate a portion of all proceeds generated by Roll for Severity to charity. This includes that from direct donations, bits, subscriptions, and sales from the Roll for Severity store. This month's charity is the BC Children's Hospital Foundation. Foundation supporting the British Columbia Children's Hospital, researching ways to transform and improve healthcare for children. If it wasn't for this foundation, we would not have Not Nathan here. So we're definitely grateful to have them. You can check out their website, bcchf.ca, or on Twitter at bccchf. In regards to the store, it's up on tpublic.com, I can English, /user/roll-for-severity. You can click the link below the stream. Once again, it's down there somewhere. We have art for our players, the group photo, and I actually added a new shirt up there after our last session, where it is the what should we call it? What could go wrong? And it's a big nat 1. Inspired by session 3's plethora of nat 1s that we rolled.
Because of that session, all of us purchased new dice sets.
Yeah, there are a lot of new dice at this table. I think they're assuming that the curse will be broken. So
much dice at this table right now.
Okay. Yeah, there are a lot of dice.
I have 2 bags now. 2. I need a bigger bag.
You would just get one of you the big ass garbage bags.
Pretty much, yeah. It's like go to the store. What kind of dice bags do you have? Well, we got no. I need bigger.
Like I need the IKEA blue shopping bag full of dice.
Yeah, just the whole thing.
Also, in regards to the character art, if you enjoy the art that we have for each of the characters, check out Comics Inc. on her Facebook or Twitter at Comics Inc. And that's INK as like pen ink. Now, without further ado, we're going to roll the character intros, providing a little bit of insight as to who is who. After which we will get underway with session 5. Oh, that's the wrong one. That was the wrong one.
That's the wrong button, Dad.
What? Yes, Beanard, I'm doing it now. Yes, I know. I'll tell them. Hi, I'm Annah, and I'm super pleased to meet you. And so is Beanard. We love making new friends. Please, tell us more about yourself. Oh, wait. I'm supposed to be talking about me. I was raised by my parents, along with my brother, in the Antarac Mountains. My mom worked as a pest control caravan guard, and my dad was a sweet as honey beekeeper. Match made in heaven, am I right? It was from my dad that I got my love of nature and an affinity for all things small and crawly and buzzy and stingy and poisonous. He taught me how to harness my innate magical bug abilities. Let's see, what did I get from my mom? Oh, I know. And from my mom, I got a pointy knife once. I learned the hard way which end is the sharp one. And that's why I carry a staff now. No confusion. Shh, yes, Beanard, I'm getting to that. Now, I want to tell you about how I met my best friend in the whole wide world, Beanard. Years ago, my dad had tried to make a hardier breed of honeybee with a longer lifespan by mixing their makeup with the dire wasp. The queen died, but not before giving birth to one special batch. I watched over her eggs for days, patiently awaiting for my new friends to grow. Then one day, there was movement in the egg cell from just one egg. The determined larva wriggled and sprang forth, but it wasn't a larva at all. It was a fat, fuzzy bee with a hell of a business end that would have made my mom proud. And then that bee used it, over and over, stabbing all of its brethren's eggs until only it remained. And then it flew on top of my head and stayed there for 4 days straight. I had just become his best friend and confidant. He loved me so much. Dad says he held me hostage, but I know better. Isn't that right, Beanard? Some people might brush me off because they think I'm small, weak, or weird. That's fine by me. Go ahead. Underestimate the Verdan with a song in her heart and spiders in her pockets. I know firsthand that sometimes it's the small things in life that pack a punch.
At first glance, one might not expect much from me. Dark robes and a deep hood hiding my pale hair and elven features. Once a member of the Sormesh Academy, I, Theioryn, along with my friend Kovar, spent much of our days living the academic life under the tutelage of Master Lorik. Our purpose was to study the Cataclysm and to identify dangers of the magics brought with it. We were young and curious, many times Morg having to reel in our determination to keep us from harming ourselves. I did my best to heed her warnings. Kovar, however, always laughed and brushed them off. Those days were peaceful, but then everything changed. It was supposed to be like any other expedition to the Deshkish forest. Gather samples, take readings, and return to evaluate the data. This time, however, disaster found us. Kovar, being brazen once again, came into contact with Amos, the White Lion. An entity of unknown origin, the being merged with Kovar, and he immediately fell to its influence. Emanating with strength, their joined gaze turned upon our group. I watched helplessly as my master and colleagues were slain. Kovar's new powers granted by the lion were terrifying. The reality of this nightmare truly settled in when they turned their attention towards me, sending me into the river below. As I drifted through the water, wounded and dying, my hatred began to burn at what Kovar had done and my own inability to stop it. Why had he not heeded our master's warning? Had it used him? Or was this Kovar all along? Slowly these thoughts quieted, and the fear of my coming death began to rise. And then Riem intervened. Appearing as a black unicorn burning in chains, she pulled me into her domain. She offered to join her power with mine, and spare me of my dismal fate. The only thing she asked was for to hunt down and destroy the white lion Amos. I thought of my master's face as she died at the hands of her own student. Her teachings and warnings filtered through my brain, but my hatred had begun to burn again. When given the chance, how could I refuse?
Greetings, the name is Zugink. Do not worry about hiding your confusion. I have become quite accustomed to the inquiry of how a bugbear is so finely dressed and mannered. I deeply regret that I cannot start from the beginning, as I cannot recall most of my childhood. I do know that fate led me to Ithamir. My initial impressions of the city were adequate for my conditions at the time. My atrocious manners definitively devastated any connections I attempted. I was able to acquire odd jobs around town. Strength is always needed somewhere. During one of these jobs, Captain Darmir happened to see one of my displays of strength and approached me about joining the city guard. In retrospect, I did not realize the opportunity for what it was. I merely accepted it as just another job. Though my fellow guards and Captain Darmir's superiors were hesitant to accept my presence, my strength and loyalty earned me respect. Captain Darmir made sure I quickly became well acquainted with proper manners, as I was working with noble merchants on the docks. After many years, my squadron became my family, and I was accepted fully in their minds and hearts. Fate had been kind to me for quite some time, but fate can be a fickle thing. My shift had barely begun when chaos broke out on the docks. I still do not know what started it. We quickly tried to bring order. However, we were not prepared to deal with a sorcerer who could not control their magic. We had seen wild magic before, but I cannot find the courage to go into detail. My legs were broken. One of my trusted friends pulled me away from the chaos. His last words were, "Everything will be okay. You're not allowed to die on us," before he ran back into the fray. I was the only member of my squadron to make it out alive. It took some time for my wounds to recover, though after that day I could not bear to stay on the docks where my family died. I wrote up an official resignation, which my superiors were saddened to receive, but allowed my leave regardless. Now I journey to find a new purpose, and if fate wills it, a new family.
Once upon a time, there was a little boy. One day, this little boy lost his family and was saved by some Fae folk. He spent his childhood in the Fae, becoming familiar with all the creatures within. Unfortunately, humans aren't supposed to stay in the Fae for a long time, because reasons. When that boy became a much bigger boy, he was forced to return to his world. His Fae home behind him, he searches for a place he belongs. By the way, that boy is me. Hi, I'm Kay, the Fae boy.
Alrighty. Now, one announcement that I did forget before we ran those. Thursday, October 31st, Halloween, we are having a D&D session whenever we get back from trick-or-treating, because fuck yes, I'm going trick-or-treating. Because I am adult and I can make those life choices.
I want candy, and no one can stop me!
Well, exactly. Like, how often do you go from door to door, be like, hey, I want candy, and then actually give it to you without calling the police first?
I usually just
probably just
buy
gonna
the
call
candy.
the police on Aaron if he shows up.
Fair enough. But yeah, so we're going to be doing a Halloween special. I have written my first attempt at ever doing horror, anything. So we'll see how this goes.
Are there ghosts in it?
No spoilers.
Because I swear to
Guarantee or
God, if you
deny.
make me cry on camera, Aaron, I
Cannot
will.
guarantee or deny.
I will hurt you.
Cannot guarantee or deny. Yeah, that'll be on October 31st. Somewhere probably about 7:30 p.m. our time, so 6:30 p.m. PST. And yeah, so on to our recap. So, back in the very first session, Anna's village had been destroyed, and they had 3 clues as to who and why. The first was a strange medallion found alongside 3 charred dwarven bodies. On the medallion, a symbol of a flaming flaming hammer carved into its surface. It was verified as being of dwarven origin. The second was a jewel said to contain a spirit of some entity named Idrisil. As well as the third clue was corpses of numerous corrupted animals, including 2 bears that attacked the party the day prior. The party ventured to Amonodel in search for leads. They found a request for aid to deal with abnormally aggressive animals. They searched and found these animals were overwhelmed with a spike-like growth protruding from their flesh. In their investigation, they located a ruined temple, inside of which had a locked stone door. The party did manage to get the door open, and Kay was overwhelmed by the poisonous miasma, and almost immediately, small spikes began to protrude from his hand. From the temple, they obtained a magical orb, the source of this particular form of corruption, and brought it back to Amonodel. They spoke to 2 researchers from Amonodel's College of the Arcane, Anash and Vagris. They turned the orb over to them to study. The group also spoke to Commander Inra, who informed them that an assassination attempt had been made on her life while she had been looking into the medallion, as well as the assassination of an elf who apparently had details on it. Inra informed them that they should stop searching and leave it to the proper authorities. She then gave them a package with a note to deliver to her grandfather, who lives in Stoneforge. The group prepared to venture to Stoneforge. Stopping at a lodge near the base of the Antrak Mountains, the group had their minds probed by a strange entity, giving them instructions for how to procure a room. The majority of the party slept in the inn for the night, except Zugink, who opted to pitch her tent across the street. The night went by, no troubles, aside from a raccoon, which decided to antagonize Zugink a little bit. But the morning comes, no one is worse for wear, and that is where we are picking up our session. So as the sun is rising, you're all gradually stirring awake. You're a little bit stiff, and a few inches short of rope, or a few feet short of rope, as you had to repair your tent. After trying to chop your tent down, but you all awake as the morning dawns. What are people doing?
Kay is rolling over and going back to sleep.
Kay in room 12 is rolled over and gone back to sleep.
I guess I will get up. I haven't been sleeping. Haven't been sleeping since early in the morning.
Yeah, because you only require the 4 hours rest.
Because I only require 4 hours. I'm everyone's worst nightmare. And I guess I will start. I will go up. I will leave my room. I will go to Anna's and I will politely knock. Tuck, 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 tuck. Anna, are you awake yet?
Anna is very much awake. Yeah. I'll skip to the door, swing it open.
Yeah.
I'm like, morning!
Good morning. Are you ready to venture forth?
Yeah.
Right? All right, then. I'll meet you downstairs. I think one of us should also probably check on Zugink, see if she fared well.
Okay. I can do that.
All right, excellent. I'm going to get the other one, and I will go over to Kay's door, and I will go, bah, 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 bah. Wake up, young man! Don't make me unlock this door!
Five more minutes.
Nope, we've gotta go. Remember, somebody's got a cursed arm, and we need to go find the cure for that or some hubbubaloo.
I feel fine.
What color is your arm this morning?
Your arm, you still have these spikes that are gradually growing from your arm. And we had you roll a con check at the end of last session, correct? Yeah. So your arm is still fleshy colored. It hasn't started turning green or anything like that. But you do have the spikes that are gradually growing from your arm.
It's the same. Just let me have fun in a minute.
Okay, it's either you get up now, or I have Anna come in here and put slugs under your door.
Like that's so gross.
Then start moving, or else it's a face full of slugs.
Hey, let me put some pants on.
She'll do it too.
Do it proudly.
I like the fact that the healing spell is
It's
now
a
being
threat?
used as a threat.
He's like, no, I'll be good.
Shit out you!
Anything but the slugs.
Kay is gonna begrudgingly and painfully slowly put on his clothes.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna stay a few minutes and listen for the pa-tum-tum-tum of him going out of bed, and then I'm going to.
Tum-tum-tum. You're very much expecting me to fall out of bed. I'm
Yeah, you sure am.
I'm going out of my way to do the thing you do as a child where you're really warm underneath the blankets and you're just slowly reaching for things and you're like, I'm going to take this under the blanket. And I'm going to put on my underpants. And I'm going to reach over here to get it. And it's cold.
Well, now
but
the audience knows that Kay sleeps in the nude.
Yep.
Well, sometimes I was in a bed.
I was in a bed.
We learned that when I sleep in a bedroll, I wear underpants because
that's
otherwise y'all would have been real uncomfortable for that walk.
We also learned that that your undergarments are tight enough to be able to hold up an axe that's just slipped through the cross.
You know what? Quality craftsmanship, okay? Do you know what it's like where I come from? We don't have shops that make the shit for you. You have to be like, and you want privacy and you don't want that being shared with everyone? You gotta do something about it. Something I had to care about, okay? Don't judge me!
So I will, so I will listen for, I guess, him moving, and then I will head back downstairs.
Okay.
So, and wait for the other two. Or wait for everyone.
You were toting over to...
When I go downstairs, key in hand, I'm gonna kind of stop at the front desk by the bowl and say, "Magic cabin man, are you there?"
And you feel that twinge in the back of your head as you kind of feel that presence kind of...
Okay. Just gonna look around. Is there anyone else in the
cabin entrance? Any other
Not at the
travelers?
moment.
Okay. Can the fact that me and my friend stayed here be a secret?
I don't know who you are.
Have your key, thank you.
I'll drop the key in and go see Zugink.
Okay, you trot outside and Zugink, what are you by this point are you taking down your tent or
Yeah, I've probably taken everything down at this point. And something I forgot to do and would have remembered in the morning is read the letter that came with the box.
Yeah, none of you read that letter.
It was addressed at someone else. Isn't reading other people's mail illegal?
Yeah, that's right.
No,
We have,
Is it illegal?
You don't know
we
anything
have
about
the-
legality.
I know nothing.
The letter was not addressed to someone else. The innard handed you a note that said, and she said that it had all the instructions that you needed to get to Regnashire.
Oh,
So that note was so the note was for you.
Could you imagine if this instructions say don't sleep at this cabin
Oh.
under any circumstances?
Well,
Well, now they do.
Or it feels like, hey, search this part of Odell.
well, it's a bit late for that.
So you're reading the note?
Yes.
Okay. So you open up this folded sheet of paper and you see very neatly handwritten notes giving directions to a manor within the city of Stoneforge. As you're holding and looking at it, you feel kind of that shift where you've got kind of like two sheets of paper that are stuck together, and you feel that kind of little bit of shift as you have that second sheet. Like pulling it aside, you can see now same very neat handwriting. There is a bit longer message written that is not actually just directions. And it says, the likelihood of me being able to openly discuss my findings is slim to none. I spoke to an old elf, Letherel, who claimed to have seen the symbol on your medallion. He told me of when he was a young lad, in his early 20s, and he fought in the Nellic Wars. He was stationed at one of the outposts, and they saw many dwarven assaults. The one that he and many of the elves he had fought with always found most terrifying was when they saw the red and black banners cresting the hill, bearing that symbol of a flaming hammer. The battles were ruthless and often ended with the elves being forced to retreat. The elf I spoke with has since been murdered. An assassination attempt on my life was made this night as well. I have likely told you to leave matters alone, though from what I've seen of most adventurers in the past, you're unlikely to heed my warning. I am sending you to speak to Regnashire Stoneforge, my grandfather. He may be able to assist in your search. Deliver the package I provided and tell him it is from Inra. If you insist on pursuing this venture, I wish you the best. I will help where I can, but I cannot guarantee how much more aid I can provide. The matter is being investigated, but we are bound by protocol, and there's only so much reach we have.
So we are heading in the right direction.
You are in the right
Zugink knows
direction.
that.
You know that. No one else knows that. You're the only one.
Yes.
We know we're going.
You know you're going to Stoneforge.
We're going to Stoneforge to help this one.
Yes.
yeah, the plot thickens.
The plot thickens. There was plot.
Nope. All is on the fly. No, there is plot somewhere. I'll find it eventually.
I'll let you know.
As you come out, you see Zugink sitting there, probably still reading the letter. And
Frolic on over.
Do you need help packing up?
Look over. It's just like, it's all just like in a bag. No?
What are you reading?
The letter from, what was her name?
Inra.
Inra.
Oh, I guess we can wait till the others get here. I bet that's important. Kind of forgot about the note.
You did.
Yes, I will meet you all here.
Kind of look around.
Great. I'll sit down.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Kay to make his way down.
Kay is going to begrudgingly open the door with his pack and his gear all readily available. Does a quick sweep of the room to make sure he didn't forget anything because he's paranoid about leaving anything of his behind.
Okay, roll a perception check.
This one. Oh. Well, that's going to be okay. It's like a 12? It's a 12.
12? Your key is still sitting on the counter.
Kay remembers to grab his key and proceeds to the lobby. Cool. When he gets to the lobby, he's just gonna drop his key in the bowl and casually walk out.
Okay. You drop your key. As you just kind of drop your key, and you actually just watch it just fade off in the mist as it drops into the bowl.
Weird.
Okay. And then you were following along with Kay?
Yeah, I'm gonna watch to make sure he walks out. I'm gonna be like, thank you for your service. Drop my key. Follow Kay out.
You also see that key just kind of fade off into nothingness and head out. So, as you all head out, you see Annah and Zugink. Zugink probably still holding note in hand as the rest of the group approaches. Are you reading the note out to them, or...?
Yeah, I'll read the note to them.
So you've all now heard the note?
Ooh.
Yes.
Where did you get the note?
Okay.
Inra gave it to us when she gave us the package.
There was a note?
Yes.
Well then. We're observant.
Yeah, we are, aren't we?
To be fair, you all did make the comment of, we'll read the note once we're out of the city. And then you didn't read the note.
And then we didn't read the note.
You traveled for a day. Well, technically you did read the note when you're out of the city, just you waited for a day.
Yeah.
I think the DM is crazy, and they just didn't exist. No.
We got moving. So, this makes a lot more sense. So...
We're dealing with a scary war family.
Yes, that's concerning. It's still also concerning to me that someone got killed for it. So, but has anyone here been to Stoneforge?
Nope.
No? All right then, new
'Cause you-
territory.
Your earliest memories, you were in the south of the Antrak Mountains. So you were a fair bit south of even Dagner. You were... Because you would travel up along this ridge when you're heading towards Ithamir.
Now, Anna's familiar with the Antrak Mountains, but not all of them.
Okay.
Yeah, you've been into the Antrak Mountains a little bit, mostly just exploring.
Because, I grew up
Yeah.
in one spot there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm mostly unfamiliar with everywhere, except probably somewhere where Aaron's going to tell me that, hey, this place seems familiar. What?
Except for the DS.
Well, that's going to be real interesting. So, yeah.
So. All right then. Well, we have a heading. We should be very careful proceeding forward, not to make ourselves too suspicious. Because obviously there is a group trying to keep themselves hidden.
And Kay turns to the road, remembering where we're going, and being like, that way!
Does Kay remember where we're going?
You want me to roll to find out?
Where are we going? Where are we going, Kay?
I'm pretty sure we were going straight along the road. The cabin place was on the right-hand side, so we want to turn right and follow the road.
The way we didn't come?
Yes.
Yeah.
But specifically, he was quizzing me because he was going to be like, Kay's going to walk right back down, no doubt.
You're getting raced back down?
Yeah, right down.
But no, you're close enough to the base of the mountain. You can see the mountains, and you can see the forest behind you from where you came from. And initially, traveling to the mountains isn't so bad. The road's a fair bit more curvy and a little bit more on the rocky side than the path through the forest had been. But all things considered, you're still traveling with very little issue. Travel on the road while still in the lower mountains actually, at this point, pleasantly warm. You have the sun overhead, and there's a gentle breeze that rustles through the needles of the now dominantly present pine trees, as opposed to the elms and stuff like that you had been passing before. And you can see large birds overhead, wings outstretched, just catching that bit of an updraft as they float almost effortlessly through the air. And they're paying you very little, if any, mind. As the sun gradually crosses over the sky and starts to dip beyond the mountain line, cold breeze just kind of surges through the valley, and that it is a noticeable and very abrupt drop in temperature, and sends just shivers through your body. You've made a fair bit of travel into the mountains, but as you knew before, it's about a 9-day venture in total to get to Stoneforge. as night starts to roll in, you find yourself still in a relatively heavily forested area, though once again more pines, and you are up into the mountains a little bit. I'm assuming people are are pitching tents, or are you going to try and look for somewhere to hunker down?
Because it's a forest, I want to look for somewhere to hunker down, because that's what Kate would do.
Okay. What were you going to say?
I was going to say I'm not familiar with this forest, so therefore I'm not familiar with any flora or fauna. I imagine there's still bears.
And forest is my domain.
Forest is your domain.
I may have never been here before, but it's a forest.
Yep. Roll me a survival check. Also, I do believe you have advantage with these because forest is your domain. Was that in that one? Was that a 2?
We're just gonna put that one over
Let's
there.
just get the counter out now.
Yeah.
Better.
So that's a 15.
15? You do find you're looking around, you end up finding this little bit of a grove of trees that you figure that because of how close they are together, you're going to get a bit of like a windbreak there. So it's not necessarily going to be somewhere like a cave or anything like that, but it's going to work as a windbreak and probably the easiest place to camp for the night.
Guys, I found a good spot.
Good job, Kay. And I go into the cave.
It's not a cave.
It's not a cave.
It's a grove of trees.
It's a grove of trees. He says it's not a cave. I'm going to the cave. Zugink just makes a cave for herself out of trees.
Punching her way into the cave.
Be real, 1 sec.
Just starts digging herself a hole.
Just Minecraft her way into a cave.
Excuse me while I hollow out this mountain for my own personal use.
Jump makes a hobbit hole. It's
I'll make a hollow hole.
And so everyone needs to also write off a ration.
Oh yeah, it's ration time.
Ration time.
Okay. Ration.
And yeah, I guess we'll set up make sure your food is in the trees. Make sure you have nothing edible in the tents. One of us should start a fire. And then, yeah, same thing. We should probably also make sure that one of us is awake, doing watches.
So you've established your camp, you set up your tents, and after a little bit, you managed to get a fire going. And so who is taking the watches?
I'll take first watch.
First watch, second watch is going to...
I'll take second watch.
Second watch, third watch,
I'll take third.
third, and then
Me.
Theioryn is taking the morning.
Yeah.
So as it's a fairly cold night, and the chill mountain air rolling over the campsite, but the little grove trees, that little barrier helps stave off a little bit of the wind, so it's your tents aren't flapping around much. Roll me a perception check.
It's a modified 20.
Modified 20. So as you're sitting there, kind of walking around, every once in a while you're getting up and taking a bit of a lap around the camp. You do end up finding a shrub that you're like, I recognize this. This is one of the things that I had used for making a potion. So add shrubs to your inventory. Also, in regards to your crafting of potions, I forgot to let you know essentially how it functions. So basically, in order to make a potion, it takes you 1 day. So you don't need, and you're only able to make one potion, base potion of healing per day. It requires 25 gold worth of materials. It can be, which is half the price of a regular potion. You're able to search for ingredients once per day. During the night rests, we can tack that in. And whenever you find materials, then the amount of gold for that potion is, or for the next potion you make, is reduced.
Cool.
No, I need to pull out my box of dice.
So you said shrub.
Shrub.
So just one shrub. For now. Yeah?
Yep. So actually, with your shrubs, just mark on there how much gold it can be reduced by.
Okay.
As just a note. So your next potion you make has its cost reduced by 2 gold. And the cost for to make a potion can be reduced up to
The cost.
15 gold.
Okay, so
and
it still costs 10.
Yeah, because for procuring things like the bottle, some of the alchemical reeds that you can't just find out and about.
Jeez, 10 gold.
I know, how dare I?
God.
Yeah, you managed to find yourself some shrubs, and you find a couple. It'll help reduce your next potion by about 2 gold. But aside from that, your night is fairly calm. Like early in the evening, so you can start to hear some of the birds chirping and moving about, but nothing too exciting. Anna, you had second watch. So, okay, how are you waking up, Anna?
Anna.
Oh no.
Okay. Okay.
Oh no.
It's your turn.
Okay.
Okay, bye. And then into my bedroll I go.
Crawl out of my tent, and I'm gonna whip up a firefly, and then slowly, groggily pull my way out.
Okay. Roll me your perception check.
18.
18. You can hear, as most of your watch goes by fairly uninterrupted, at one point you do hear howling of wolves far off in the distance. The howl kind of just echoing through the valley, so you can't really make out where they are, but they don't sound close.
Alright.
But your watch comes and goes without trouble.
Alright.
And then how are you waking up, Zugink?
Very politely, I will...
Zugink.
I'm gonna go up to the tent and I'm gonna kind of scrape my hands on it a little bit to try and make noises like, Zugink, it's your turn!
Suddenly just imagining, just swords through the tent.
But raccoons don't know our names.
No, the worst is when you go up to somebody and start shaking it real hard.
When I said the scratching, I kind of jump a bit, but then I hear Zugink just oh, it's just done. And I kind of poke my head out. It's my turn.
Yeah.
And I grab my glaive and go walk over to a tree and lean against it.
Okay. I'll mention that I heard some wolves howling, but they were probably far away. And then go to sleep.
Okay. Roll me a perception check for your watch.
That is a 7.
7. You're sitting there and you notice a small bird come down the land of the camp, just hopping around, poking at the ground and trying to find some bugs. And after a little bit, it catches you, kind of leaning to get a bit of air, startles and flutters off. It's the only thing you notice for the night. And your 2 hours come and go. And how are you waking up Theioryn? Or pestering Theioryn, considering Theioryn's probably awake by this point again.
Yeah, just kind of wander over, you have a tent now, right?
Yeah, I have a tent.
Okay, I'll just kind of walk to the side of the tent and just be Theioryn, it's your turn.
I'm awake and I'll just get up and out. Oh, I don't know how you can sleep for so long. It's so boring just sitting here waiting for you all. I'll go sit by the fire.
Fair enough.
You could just get up.
I could just get up.
You don't need to be
Maybe
awkward about it.
Maybe I'm having alone time, and maybe I don't want you guys to feel awkward about it.
It's Theioryn's special time.
What is Theo's alone
You know
time
what?
actually
You know
like?
what? You know what? Too young.
Actually, I'm an adult.
I rolled.
Thank you.
Oh no! Wait, yeah. That,
Barely.
It doesn't matter.
was
It's
that?
still
Yeah,
legal.
No, that was that. You know what? I'm just gonna leave it at that. I rolled a 9.
9?
Yep.
So you're sitting there and you occasionally hear the snapping of a branch and you kind of perk up and look around trying to see where it is, where the sound came from. You don't see anything. But
Toss a rock.
and you hear like thump, thump, thump in the brushes, but that's about it.
Hopefully that was just a raccoon and not a wolf or a
Maybe
bear.
it was a porcupine.
And to those who don't know, the porcupine was actually a rat.
Yeah, the porcupine that was actually a rat. Yeah.
Yeah, so your watch comes and goes. Okay, I need you to give me a Constitution saving throw.
Choose wisely.
Well, it's not wisely, that's for sure.
Was that a 1?
No.
No,
Was it a 2?
No.
that one's going to jail though.
So it's a 6.
A 6.
This is gonna hurt, probably. It's either that or it's just something grew real fast.
It's gonna hurt you more than it'll hurt him.
I mean, it's gonna be. I'm gonna be fine until Theo notices. So it's a matter of whether or not Theo notices.
Over the course of the night, the corruption on your arm has grown up a little bit further, and is now probably about there. Is where the spines are coming out of.
Marvelous.
And the watches subside, the morning comes, and you can see the sun cresting over the trees.
Kay packs up his stuff. Gets up because he was a little bewildered by the fact that more of the things were growing, and has decided while he waits for everyone that he's just gonna be packing his stuff up and just casually having his hand out of view of everyone else for the time being.
Okay, I can't help but notice.
I very much have.
Yeah.
You got your arm brace on.
Yeah.
Yeah, just be like, I'm gonna stealth do that probably.
Yeah, so roll me a stealth, and then if you're trying to roll me perception.
My thing is, this boy is up early. Oh, I see nothing.
I rolled the 16 for stealth, by the way.
Okay, we got our first one of the night.
First one is me.
So
You're like, he's up
you
early.
think it's
He's
a
up
little,
early.
Yeah, I think it's a little odd, but you're not noticing any weird behavior aside from him being
Yeah,
early.
he's up early. I wonder if it's the night air. Maybe it's the sound. Maybe it's because we're in the mountains. Maybe it was the threat of Annah and her slugs. Maybe that's carrying over. Must discuss using this as a force of bribery with Annah.
Yep.
Bribery or threat?
That's threat.
That's coercion,
Yeah.
not
Coercion.
bribery.
Stick or carrot? You pick.
Yeah. This is a stick. There we go.
That's also a carrot, because it heals me. I mean, it's not the kind of carrot that Kay wants.
In horseback riding, we call that the carrot stick.
Weird. You stick a carrot on a string in front of the person.
No. It's a tool literally called a carrot stick. I won't go into it. We'll be here all night.
Let's not. That sounds kinky.
So as Anna's packing up, it's occurred to her that we probably should have got our story straight. So I'll be like, so since we're probably being followed by someone and stuff that might want to kill us, if we meet strangers and they're like, howdy friends, where are you off to? Do we want to come up with a mutual lie that we're all gonna use? Or
We're delivering a package.
yeah, but I don't know, that still seems too forthcoming.
Do you still have your Honeydale?
Yes I do.
Currently, Zugink is carrying it.
Yes.
All of it.
Mine is one
Nope,
bottle.
all but I think 2 bottles that Anna kept on
Yeah,
her
well,
person.
yeah.
We could always go under the assumption that because since you do, or you were a merchant, that we are simply just coming with you as you make a delivery.
I like it. I think that package should be a secret.
It's Anna's entourage.
Yay.
Yes, with Kay as the guide through the mountains, yourself the merchant, Zugink as the muscle, and me just, I guess, being me. I don't really know how.
You can be my best friend in this story.
Yes, let's go with that. I'm your best friend. I'm your best Poindexter friend who hasn't seen much of the world, and that's actually not far off from the
So we have the child, Mama Bear, Daddy Elf, who's best friends with...
Yeah.
Not Goblin, I just forgot the
Theo
name.
is stoic.
Verdan.
Verdan.
Yeah.
And she's the energetic one. He's the not so energetic one. They balance each other out. That's how that works.
Monica.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much that.
Yeah,
what does that
Beanard
mean?
stung me when I was like, "You can be my best friend." So like, flick him off my shoulder. Ow! Ow! It's a story.
So, as everyone's getting up, most of you are a little bit stiff. Your joints feel that little bit cold and a little bit sluggish as you move around the camp. Except for Kay, who you're used to sleeping on
The ground.
the ground, makeshift
Outside,
floors, all that kind of
forest,
stuff. You're pretty accustomed to that. Honestly, sleeping in the bed was weirder for you than sleeping on the floor.
Yeah. I had all of my clothes off. That never happens.
So you gather your belongings, and as you're gathering everything up, your bodies warm up, and your normal movement returns. Your joints gradually just work themselves out, and you continue traveling. And after about an hour and a half, you find yourself at the edge of a lake.
Oh.
The road itself falls alongside the lake before curving south, taking a fairly steep upward climb into the mountains. Far out onto the lake, you can see a couple of small boats drifting, and you can barely make out people inside the boats. And you can also see several groups relaxing at the lake's edge. Are people stopping the lake, or are they carrying on?
I wonder if there's like a little community or something.
What is it mostly made up of? Like very mixed race of people, or is it all dwarves?
It's a fair bit of mixed race. You see a couple of turtles, which that's a race that you had not seen before in Verdan.
Okay.
So you see these like lumbering like turtle folk, large shells kind of hunched forwards, and they're not much shorter than Zugink.
Let's go say hi!
You also see some humans. You see a couple elves. You just see a few dwarves. And most people are having a picnic of some sort on the beach.
Okay.
So as you walk up, are you just running up to one of these turtles?
No, I'm gonna stay with the group, but I'm like excited about.
Quick perception check. Is this a campsite? Is this like a little? Is there like? Is this a nudist beach? Is this a cannibalism colony? Is this?
What can we tell by looking at
know?
these people from a distance?
Roll me a perception check as you're
leg.
passing along.
13.
Can we all do that?
Everyone can roll me a perception check.
Modify 20 for me.
Fiddlesticks. 16.
That's not terrible.
13.
I wasn't
You don't care?
caring. I was just
Okay.
Zuggy doesn't care.
Kay just really wanted to know if Kay to give you an idea of what Kay was looking at. Kay was looking at the water to see if there were people swimming because he was very interested in bathing.
No, okay, please keep your clothes on.
There are people swimming. And as far as you can tell, no, this is not a nudist beach.
Hooray!
Everyone that you can see has some sort of clothes on that you would expect from their race. The turtles, not so much, but their bodies kind of cover everything as it is with the shells. And you can all tell that it's like it mostly seems to be like people have come out here to like camp for a weekend kind of thing, or camp for a few days. Not so much a like permanent residence kind of thing.
It's a vacation site.
It is.
Yeah.
Like Louise. Done.
So are you approaching the group?
Yeah, we're
approaching
going, right?
Are you approaching the lake?
Yeah, walking. Okay, walking now.
I was going to say, I don't think it will hurt to stop for a little bit.
Also, probably a good idea
The
to
little
pull
one's
on
going.
skins.
Sorry, one more time. What was
That's
that?
also probably a good idea to fill up your water skins.
Yes.
Tell them if you got them.
Yeah.
Walking water.
What is this walking you
like
speak of?
Like doing the arm walk mostly. Like walking, but the arms doing crazy things. That's all
Well,
I'm saying.
so you can do the exaggerated walk. Kay's gonna bolt for the water.
Okay, that's cool.
Like, just immediately.
Just hitting the water, just diving in.
Not quite. He's gonna get to a reasonable part on the sandbar, hopefully not super close to everyone else. Take off his heavy stuff, put it next to the water, grab his water shenanigans, skins, things,
Water skin.
and then go dive into the water because he's just a touch ripe. He hasn't bathed in a little bit.
Okay.
And he's starting to notice,
Oh,
which
no.
the fact that the group hasn't noticed is very strange.
It's not that we haven't noticed,
I don't know.
dear. It's that we haven't really said anything about it.
So Kate's gonna go fill up his water skin and also just like kind of clean up just a touch bit. So he's
Okay.
like wearing underpants and pretty much he's covering up his important bits, and then he's just everything else is within like visible distance at all times.
Yeah. Okay, so you go and you drop your gear and you grab your water skin, head on into the water. The water's cold,
Yep.
as you'd kind of expect from a mountain lake. And like even as you step in, the shiver just like runs up your body. But you head on in, you top up your water skin and fill that up, and you're able to wash and clean yourself up a bit, as cold as it is.
That's the woods.
Yep. Is anyone else going for a swim?
I'm
or-
going to fill my water skin and build a fire on the side of the beach
That's considerate.
because
Someone's gonna need to dry off.
Someone's gonna be really
someone's going to need to
wilted.
dry off. And the last thing I need is someone with the sniffles as we're walking up a mountain. So,
Did Kate take off his brace?
I believe I didn't specify, so probably.
You probably would have because you wouldn't
Because
want to be
I'm-
drenching your leather.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want my leather to be gone. So the question is, do I stealth walk out of the water or not? But I'm busy bathing at the moment. So
Yeah, you have to go in to find out.
how enthusiastically are you watching me bathe? is my question.
Very enthusiastic walks.
I think someone else is going to care more.
Well,
I want to go talk to turtles.
They're making a fire.
I'm making a
so
fire.
currently, I'm okay because someone doesn't want to look at my almost naked body.
until the
anyways.
TM goes, Theo, make another perception check. I'm making a fire.
So you make a fire. Anna, what are you doing?
I'd like to go up to the giant turtle folk.
Okay, so there's two turtles, and they're both fairly close to each other, just sitting on the beach at the moment. And as you walk up, without turning their body, like one of them kind of has its back toward, like mostly towards you, but then without turning its body, its neck just kind of straight and then moves and turns. So you just see that long head and neck just turn and look at you.
God, it's so awesome! Hi, can I sit with you for a bit?
Of course.
I go up and
What are you?
I'm an Anna. It's nice to meet you.
You're learning from Kay.
Yes. He reaches out his one arm towards you.
I will take my tiny hand.
Yeah, his hand is like it's not even like fingers and all that. It's basically like this big bulge of flesh, and then it has like these like claw-like protrusions on the end where its fingers would be, and you just feel them kind of like coil a bit around your hands, and there's a slow motion.
Oh,
as it,
that's
like,
awesome.
wraps around your hands, and you can just feel like a little bit of like very very like tough leathery type skin in the palm of its hand as it grabs your hands and slowly shakes up and down.
It's great. See, what are your names?
I'm Glimmock. And the other turtle is looks at you. Glamour.
Glimmock and Glamour? Ah, that's so cute.
Is it like a grandma and grandpa? Grandpa, turtle? Grandpa, turtle, Baba and Guido? Is one of us going to make sugar cookies and the other one tell us long stories about the war?
Maybe.
So as like Glimmick is just like, and what's your name?
My name's Anna.
So you're an Anna named Anna.
Oh, I get it. I'm a Verdan.
No.
This is great. I love it. And you just watch like that pondering look as the troller's face, and I get it.
Cute.
So what brings you to the lake?
Actually, we were just passing through, and then we saw the lake, and then my friend Kay ran into the lake. He's over there splashing about.
And you just watch the head just like slowly turn to look at Kay and look back down at you.
So this is just a quick pit stop. Do you live around here?
No, we've traveled for quite a ways to get here. We're going to Aminodel.
Oh, he just came from there.
Is it nice?
Anna thinks about the murder.
Yes.
That's good to hear.
Do you have family there?
No, we're just exploring.
Okay. Did you come from further up the mountain?
Yep, we came from over in Pak. Pak is that.
Okay.
Anything worth noting? Any animals that gave you trouble or ornery groups?
Nothing that we saw.
Okay. Excellent.
And then I'll just continue to hang out with them for a bit.
Okay.
Kay is going to get out of the water and take his extra wolf skin or a wolf pelt that he has that is clean, and is going to use the fur side as a towel.
Wet dog.
And
Wet dogs.
well, yeah, mostly, yeah, but it'll be fine.
So you're as you go and you pull out your wolf pelt from your bag, you realize you forgot to tan this thing.
That's fine.
So it's kind of grungy on the inside.
Could be worse. Kay's not worried about it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait for Zugink, and then I'm gonna act.
Well, question, is the fire near my pack, or is the fire just nearby?
I built it by your pack.
So it's by your pack.
I'm right fucking there.
So for sake of argument, I'm going to try to stealth put my bracer back on
Nope.
while distracting someone
I'm going to just
with the giant not tanned fur pelt that I had in my
grab
pack.
that and go, that is disgusting, and rip it off, and then I'm gonna push you back into the lane.
So the question is, do you succeed?
I'm assuming you're trying to resist.
Oh, I absolutely
So
am.
you're resisting him pulling away the pelt, and you're resisting him pushing you back. And like, if he succeeds, the pelt.
Yes.
Okay. So I need you both to roll me. We'll just go with strength checks.
Oh.
I think you're both right.
Oh. I rolled a 16.
I rolled an 18.
Fuck!
So you go.
So
and,
that's one.
I'm just like,
so you go and you grab, like, try and grab the pelt, and you get a good yank on it, and you just see Kay's arm. Ugh. But Kay manages to hold on to the pelt.
What are you doing?
that is gross. It has not been properly tanned. It smells, Kay. You smell now. You have wolf guts all over yourself. What was the point of getting clean if you're just going to cover yourself in wolf guts?
I'm using the fur side.
It doesn't matter. The whole thing is drenched.
It
Get back in the
water! No!
Get back in the water, or I'll have Zugink throw you back in. I hear my name and go, ooh.
Kay's going to intentionally put on his clothing now, in spite of you, because at this point, only his hands and his arm have really touched the thing.
Oh.
So he's, in spite of your actions, going to start getting dressed.
Zugink, will you give me a hand here? Someone is covered in wolf guts.
Not covered in
I
wolf
sniff.
guts.
Can I smell it?
Most certainly.
Okay, I go.
Okay, the stink that you've been smelling hasn't necessarily just been you.
That's fine.
I go, yes! Kay, back in the water. She will shave you again.
I will
Or
shave
he will
you.
shave you again.
I will shave you.
Fine. I'll go wash my hands in the water.
Okay.
Because that's the part of me that has guts on it.
And now that Kay is washing his hands, and we're paying attention to him, do we notice the growth?
Roll me a perception check. See if you notice. And roll me a... Would you be being stealthy at this point, or are you just being begrudging about it?
I don't know if I would have probably been, at worst, I was bringing my towel along with me. The question is whether they're focused on where I put the towel, because I would have been holding it like this. I would have turned this way, so my back is facing them. So in theory, this part of me is not in direct sightline. So it wouldn't be I was going out of my way to hide it, but I'm also not flaunting it.
Hey, guess what? I rolled an 18.
So this tells me I should really just try to avoid it.
Roll me a stealth.
See what happens. That's an 18. So do you want us to roll again?
No.
Because we didn't discuss what happens when we tie.
What's your base perception?
My base perception is my passive is 13.
So is mine.
What's your stealth? And not just you said
That'd
there's
be plus
13, so it's +3.
Yeah.
What is your passive, or what is your base stealth?
Base stealth? Like my modifier?
Yeah. What if
It's
you
+3.
+3? Okay, roll again. Okay, just roll.
My eyes were
Oh,
watering
this
or
time
something, so I
probably
rolled a
fast.
4.
Oh no, Jamie probably notices.
It's an
What-
11.
What did you roll?
I rolled a 4.
So
regardless, son of a bitch.
yeah. So as you're turning to
did you roll?
turning back.
4.
Oh.
yeah.
I
My eyes are
turn
watering.
around so that my
Smells
arm
so
is
bad.
in full display.
Full display. Yeah, you're holding on to the front of the pellet, just like walking back, and you can see that the growth on Kay's arm has increased.
I pass the dirty pelt to Zugink. Deal with this. I'm going to march with gusto, grab the hand, and go, "What's this?
Now do I
hands.
notice?
You probably noticed.
What's this?
I pull out the axe and like walk over.
My hand,
How long has it been like this?
my entire life.
This has. Go sit down.
Just to sit down and get dressed.
Go sit down. I'm going to start pulling out my knife again.
I'm going to immediately open my fancy knife selection that I purposely bought for this exact thing and go, "Don't you touch me with that shitty knife. If you're gonna do this, at least use one of these." Finely catered selection of knives meant for this sort of thing.
Yep, because Kay purchased a very nice set of knives to help shave arm spikes.
Taught you to be so difficult. And I grab a knife and I start
I blame
shaving.
Daddy Bug, or I blame my mom the Bugbear.
So meanwhile, Anna's just sitting with her new friends and we're watching, and I was like, "This is my life now." Yeah, I was like, everyone's just disgusting and fighting and yelling.
Yeah.
And the turtles are kind of looking, just kind of like confused to what the heck is actually going on as they see like the elf storm up with a very tall human, and then the bugbear grabbing their axe.
Grabs the axe. I'm actually
I'm like, is it spreading?
yes.
Just with axe.
I imagine
Have
that
they
I've seen.
observed that it's... Do they conclude that it's spreading, or do they just think
Yeah.
it's still growing? And because it's been a couple nights since we've shaved.
It has been a couple nights since you shaved. Roll me an investigation check, Theioryn.
Oh yeah,
As you're the one who's had
love
the
me
most-
my investigation.
You're the one that shaved my arm the most times.
That is a modified 20.
You definitely know that. You definitely know that it's the spikes are growing. that they've spread further on his arm.
This is getting worse.
Is removal the best course of option?
Right now, our only
Best option.
right now our only
Yes. You got a vase of water there.
hold your breath. Yeah, hold your breath. Drink it upside down. I think our only best our best option is to go to that cave that was recommended to us as quickly as we can, because if this keeps spreading and it reaches your heart, Kay, you may have to switch from using a bow to being dead.
Well, wow.
Where did you
They
say?
have to not use a bow anymore.
You may not have to use a bow to using a crossbow.
Oh, I get it.
It's reasonably
Okay.
easy going. It is just based on how I'm seeing feeling it. I think it's just like past his wrist, right?
Yeah.
So like, I feel like he's only starting to notice like the weirdness of it, but
Is it numb?
I wouldn't say it's numb per se. It's just it's an extension of myself, right? So
Bone.
because
It's
it's
bones.
essentially
It's
bone.
spikes growing out of your skin.
Yeah, so
So.
it's essentially like I was born this way, and it's just that it hurts. It'd be like a porcupine, and you trying to rip out their spines.
Yeah, but you're human, and humans don't have bones coming out of their skin.
True, but I lived in a crazy place for a very long time, so your perception to what humans
I was just gonna say
think
Theo
and
doesn't
do
know
and
that.
look. Yes, but
So.
like Kay hasn't concluded to this is obnoxiously weird yet. Right now he's just this is different. I don't know how to react, but he doesn't think it he's not taking it as a negative yet.
Right, the gravity of the situation isn't completely there. For
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because right now it's him being like, I have things growing. Why? Because someone doesn't let them grow to be at a point where the gravity will kick in. Because someone goes, shing, shing, shing.
Yeah.
Oh, that was your wrist. Whoops.
Every morning.
Well, not last morning.
Where do we find the thing to fix this?
It was. We were told that it is a mount. There's a mountain cave, and we're looking for something called an elder cap.
Ettercap.
Yeah.
Or an eder cap.
Ettercap.
Yeah.
Mountain.
And they're
Spider.
they're spider likes, which I fucking love spiders. And we have to they're in this area essentially.
Yeah,
We just
they're in some lower caves, and we
Yeah.
just need to get the thing.
I go back to the turtles and be like, you don't happen to know where to find eder caps?
I don't think I've ever heard of one of those. Are they tasty?
Possibly. And I start thinking about eating one.
yeah, it's just,
I wouldn't know. We've never seen them.
Anyone around here, like, actually live here?
I don't know. We're passing through.
That is fair.
They're on their way to Annah and Odell. Zugink?
Well, I was
Have
over there
you
for that
been
conversation.
Oh, were you? Oh, I thought you were with
Yeah, I thought you went with Theioryn.
My bad.
I said I went to see the turtles, so...
I was very much, those two were together. This one was eyeing me.
I went back when I heard my
entire
name.
time.
I was,
So
I
you
was
know.
standing by, but then you pulled out a fucking wolf pelt, and I had to dad the situation.
You didn't have to dad this situation.
Daddy Elf, Mama
I had to
Bugbear.
dad. There was no.
Okay, looking around, is there anyone that looks like they're not, like, that don't have, like, day packs or anything, and they look like they're not just here for the day?
We're going a perception check.
15?
15. Most people who are around here look like they're here to, like, you're seeing a lot of people who have, like, picnic baskets and, like, blankets laid on the sand. They're eating by the lake kind of thing. It seems very much as if this is more of a touristy type destination as opposed to we live here kind of thing.
So no one looks like a local.
Correct.
Are there any buildings or anything?
There's a couple small shacks, but that's about it.
Right. And none of them look like bigger, more important than the other shacks?
No, they look like fish building shacks.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
I go back and I go to Kay. I go, Kay, you're good at tracking.
Uh-huh.
Track some locals.
Track me a local.
I think we need to continue onward
Yeah.
and try and find a cave of some kind.
Well, at the base of the mountains, because specifically, the Ettercaps were in the mountain's lower caves. Or at least that's what I have written in my notes.
Yep, Ettercaps would be found residing within some of the lower caves than the mountains, but that you don't know necessarily whether that's caves at the base of the mountain or having to find caves into the mountain that lead further deep.
We need to find caves.
Yeah.
This is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
So we should probably try and wrap things up and continue onward as quickly as we can, because this, and I twist, is going to get worse and worse. Especially considering that someone doesn't like being cooperative about letting us know the condition of it.
Never said I had to.
From now on, you have to let us know the condition of your hand.
Full disclosure.
Fine.
At which point should we remove it?
Oh, I'm probably going... Well, you mean the hand? I would like it to be probably... No, it'll probably have to be closer to the shoulder. It's a little cleaner at the shoulder than it is to have a stump of an arm.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I look at Kay, I go, elbow or shoulder?
Elbow. Immediately.
Okay.
Like,
So
get me
let's
some
find-
crazy
let's
dwarven
find
technology
some of these
arm. This
umbercaps.
is fine, but please leave my shoulder open.
Let's try to find some of these umbercaps. If it hits your elbow, I'm removing it. And I put the axe away.
And Kay, with that lovely stick at his backside, runs toward the trail, picking up his pack and what remains of his stuff, but
By this point, you'd have mostly gotten dressed already. So.
yes, but not the wolf pelt because apparently it's offensive.
So you leave this wolf pelt on the...
Well, no, I don't have the wolf pelt in my possession anymore.
I passed it to
Someone
Zugink.
took it away from me.
I never grabbed it. I just kind of let you drop it.
It's just on the...
So there's a wolf pelt on the beach.
It's rotting.
Do I see Kay book it?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna be like, well, I think someone said there was pigs somewhere or something, because he's really excited. I should go.
Anna, we have to chase after Kay. His little hand problem is getting worse.
Okay, alright.
Say goodbye to the turtles.
Goodbye. Clinic.
Goodbye.
Glamma. Bye.
Did everyone get water before we chase after Kay?
I didn't. Anna was too focused on.
Do you want me to...
And it was too excited for the portals.
I'm gonna get you all
It's just a normal day of D&D. Okay, then I
It's
guess...
not wrong.
I'll meet up with you guys.
Yeah.
And try and...
Fill up your... And then meet up with us.
Oh, right, okay. Well, if you remind me, I will fill up my water skin.
And I guess we'll chase after Kay to the best of our ability. Kay! Quit running! Zugink was only half kidding about cutting off your arm!
No,
Can
I
I
wasn't.
perception to
You know what?
see if I notice?
Sure.
Zugink.
Fuck. Well, no,
Is that
not
in that one?
Lying
No,
is
that
not
was.
polite.
I didn't want to hear it.
Oh, you
That's
did
the
hear it?
polite fuck. That
Okay.
was a crit 20.
So you definitely hear it.
So while I'm running and I perceive a crit 20 for my ears at least, do I notice anything of consequence? Because, yeah. Apparently I was really paying attention to everything.
You hear very distinctly that dad voice from Theioryn yelling out after you, and you're like, what are you doing now that you do hear them?
Well, because I don't have a coin to flip, I'm going to roll a d6 and we'll see if it's a positive or negative encounter. Even is positive and I listen to Theo. Odd is not, And I keep running. It's a 4. I slow down.
Okay.
I kind of wanted you to keep.
So did I!
So, Case starts to slow down, and the group is able to catch up.
I am now at a jogging pace.
As we're going up, Zugink, I understand this is very serious, but maybe don't tell the frightened boy child
That you're gonna cut
that
off
he's
his
going
arm?
that you're going to cut off his arm. Because I don't know if you've noticed, he's pretty squirrely.
But
Like,
we must be
it's-
honest with him.
Oh,
Otherwise, he will not trust us.
Yeah, you are absolutely right. We need to be honest, but sometimes that honesty means we keep it to ourselves until we can't keep it in anymore.
But how would I know when to remove it if I did not ask him if he wanted it at the elbow or the shoulder?
You know, I don't think anyone really wants to answer that question, Zugink.
The fact that Kay specifically answered it so fast, and then Zugink was like, Kay, I know when to chop it off now. And I'm like, oh! Okay!
No, this was a theoretical question. Okay, I'm leaving now.
Sorry, the miasma room was like a week ago,
Yeah.
Yep.
and it spread
A little bit.
half foot.
Yeah.
Not even.
No,
Well,
not
no,
even a foot.
Because
Because
it was
it was-
close to his wrist when
The door was there.
So it's spread
now,
about an inch.
Now it's there.
Okay, but so
It's
We have
moving
some
at
maybe or two.
It's 100% based on his constitution rolls.
yeah, but I would be like,
What
what are you guys freaking out about? It's like been a week and it's barely grown.
Yes.
We got time.
Yeah, yes, I agree. We have time. But
for now.
Zugink
because
is
I've been
thinking
really
of the worst case
constitutional.
scenario.
Okay.
Now now watch. Now that you've stressed me out about this thing, I'm gonna fail every single one of my Constitution saves.
And it's just
Every
gonna get
night,
worse.
it's just gonna be.
And it might
Zugink's
get
gonna
worse as
remove
it
my arm.
spreads.
Fair enough.
It might get better. Who knows?
Who knows?
Yep. For now,
It
let's
might
just
stop.
focus on the one lead we have.
I am a guard. I'm used to dealing with outbreaks of things, and it's usually harshly.
But regardless, Kay is now very much keeping a non-casual walking pace for the rest of the day's trip.
She's not going to cut it off, Kay. Calm down.
It's not today.
Not yet.
No, Kay is now only thinking about Zugink removing his arm, and so he is keeping pace. He's going at a casual jog, but he is casually jogging up a mountain.
Okay, I have short legs.
Does anyone know what edders are? Well, has anyone ever seen an edder?
I believe I know what they are. I think I rolled well to know that it's a spider-like creature.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll explain my knowledge of it to you.
So, and they live in caves, right?
Correct.
So, I guess look, are they nocturnal? Are they?
Well, I think it's dark all the time, and I think it's less nocturnal, and they're just creatures of the underdark-ish.
Oh, you said the words I hate.
Ish?
Underdark. The elves are scared of the dark.
It's not so much being scared of the dark, it's more of the things
Scared of
that are
things
in the
lurking.
dark. Cave with no light, and you can't see because you are a creature that sees light, and these are creatures. Anyway, I guess everyone keep an eye out for crazy caves and spider webs.
Yep. And then look for traps while you're at it. Spiders are good at trapping things. And they're giant. Well, maybe not giant.
Well,
How giant is giant?
Bigger than me by a bunch.
What about Zugink?
They can be Zugink sized.
Can be? Or can be bigger than Zugink?
I haven't seen any. So, I don't know. Probably bigger.
you're
Stories on the docks of spiders bigger than me. Worthy challenge.
I love being out in nature. Helping a stupid fairy boy.
I love how I'm a fairy boy now. You don't even know I'm from the Fae, but I'm a fairy boy now. That's comforting.
So as you all manage to catch up to our lightly jogging Kay, Anna has to put in a bit more effort than everyone else
I'm
to
sweating a little.
keep up.
Wait, do we still have that cart that we made, like, first session?
No, I don't
No.
think we have that
No, we
anymore.
lost that
No,
stuff.
we left that. We left that back.
I was going to offer to pull Anna.
No,
Okay.
that card is long since
You
gone.
could. You could carry her on
I
your
could
shoulders.
just carry Anna.
Yeah, just on your shoulders.
How much does your character weigh?
The thing is, I think Anna's pride weighs more than she does. So it's gonna be a no.
I'm also
Nobody picks up the Verdan! Nobody!
I'm pretty sure the
Where
Verdan
is that?
plus, it should be in your equipment, shouldn't it? Or at least, no, that's what your...
Unless the Verdan plus her equipment weighs
yeah.
more than 300 pounds, I can carry
Yes,
the
that's not
Verdan.
happening.
Well,
The Verdan's carrying capacity is less than that.
No, I just no. I'm
I
okay,
offer.
thanks. I really appreciate that, but I'm gonna keep my feet on the ground.
It'd be awkward to carry you if your feet are still on the ground.
Yes, it would be.
I mean, you could
My
offer...
speed up.
You could offer to take her pack instead.
No, that's okay. I am okay. I've never once complained, except that time I said I had short legs.
She's redeemed her resolve, and she's like, no, second wind is now kicking in, starting to get that runner's high.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, let's
Endorphins.
go.
So as trekking upwards into the mountain, the state of the road degrades significantly. What was once hard-packed dirt and stone, fairly consistent width, now twists and turns, edge of the road falling away or merging into loose shale and dirt. Even with Kay attempting to jog, it doesn't take long before it turns into more of a hike than...
Remember to lift your knees, keep your back straight, and flat feet, everybody, let's go.
Good luck with flat feet when you're going up a slope.
It's like...
Full contact, yes.
Yes. It's not the, I'm only touching with my toes like Kay does when he runs. It's I'm actually using all of my feet now.
Where are you getting this from? I'm very much not running that way.
Woods, mountains, they're relatable when you just need to know how to walk.
I'm just gonna walk normal. It's worked my whole life.
So Kay is going to be using proper hiking technique.
Oh.
Because, one, he's trying to stay as far away from Zugink as humanly possible. And now...
I like to think I'm just like keeping pace with Kay.
And so he's doing it in the way that will cause him to lose the least stamina over the greatest period of time.
Okay.
Which, yet again, back straight, knees high, and flat foot against surface. And maintaining a solid speed of 1.15 times walking pace.
So, Anna's more interested in getting to Stoneforge, but I would be looking for caves and stuff as we're going, because...
Okay, roll me a perception check.
Thank you.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Stoneforge is a dwarven city in a mountain?
That's correct.
13.
13. As you're going along, you're not noticing anything when it comes to caves. You get a little bit more fixated on like trying to keep up with Kay.
Okay.
But you're not spotting anything as you're going along.
Alright, are there people on the road too that we're passing?
Occasionally you pass people going the other way, but most of them are on foot and seem to have fairly light packs.
Okay. And as we pass people, I would have been like, did you have any trouble on the road or something? Like attacks or animals?
Okay. As you're passing by, like you stop and ask them, and you pass a couple of dwarves, and like, nah, it's been a good walk. Haven't had any troubles.
Dwarf, eh? Excuse me, sir. Can you teach me how to say, "Hi, I'm Anna. I like your beard"?
And he's gonna whisper something in your ear and kind of nod as. And the dwarf that you're asking this has no beard. He is clean shaven dwarf.
How silly of me to assume the dwarf.
But he whispers something in your ear.
Okay, great.
It's Varric Tethras.
I'm just gonna make a big list of like potential dwarven sayings for when I need a dwarven saying.
All right.
Yeah, but he whispers on your ear and tells him, okay. But him and the other dwarf that he's with, they carry on, and
What did he say to you?
I try and regurgitate it back.
so I'll make up actual sayings.
Yeah,
I'll
cool.
make a note for that.
Yeah.
Make dwarf
I just want to know if it's offensive or not.
sayings
Oh, that's fair.
since Anna keeps
Asking.
asking for them.
What?
There, I made a note for myself. I'll even highlight it in hot pink.
Nice.
Ooh.
That's attractive.
Alrighty. So you regurgitate it back to Theioryn, and it's a little bit broken once again because Anna's just trying to regurgitate off of memory after having heard it essentially once. And it says, I really like your beard. Hi, I'm Anna, I really like your beard.
Oh, it sounds like you're getting good at that.
Oh, thank you. Now I'm all excited and chest puffed out and
And third wind.
I can do
Yes.
anything.
I'm amazing.
As the day wears on, once more you start to feel that cold mountain breeze descending through the slopes as the sun dips beyond the peaks. Get everyone to write off another one of their rations.
Mountains. Cold.
I know, imagine that.
Shrub. Where did I put my rations? I had 15 rations when we... Did I accidentally delete all... I accidentally deleted all of my rations.
Yeah, you're supposed to hit the down... You
Whoops.
just hit the minus to remove one.
That's my bad. Okay, let me fix that.
Before we rest this
Gavin
time,
is just like, I imagine Kate is jogging like Kronk does in the Emperor's New Groove.
Absolutely.
And so I replied with making his own theme music as he goes.
stay away from Zugink.
Stay away from Zugink, running up the mountain. My hand is spiking, veil keeps shaving it.
But you didn't shave the hand though.
No.
Nope. So as the sun is dropping below the peaks and it's an evening is wearing in, what are people's intent for camping out?
Kay, as always, is going to survival check to see if he can find a cave or somewhere not outside.
Okay, roll me a survival check, and this one is not with advantage because you're no longer in the forest.
Yeah.
The trees by this point have spruced out quite a bit.
That's 10.
10? Once again, you're not seeing anything in regards to caves. You do find a little bit of an outcropping of rocks that you think might help stave off some of
So
the...
it's one of those things that's...
Not so much.
Not-
More like
not-
just like a couple of larger boulders that are just kind of sitting, and you feel like you could probably like shimmy tents up against them to kind of break wind at least from one direction, assuming the wind's going to keep coming there.
I found a spot!
Good job, Kay.
You haven't your spot choice hasn't failed us yet.
It's the only thing about me that apparently hasn't failed you yet.
Hey, you shot
mutters
things.
under
Yeah.
his breath.
Kay's getting salty. So you camp yourself out, and who's taking which watch?
I'll take first watch.
First,
I'll take second.
I'm going to
Second.
sit on top of a rock.
you sit on top of the rock. Okay.
Do you want third or last?
I'll take the last watch this time.
I will take third then, which is great, which I'll
Before
stay up.
we rest this time, though, can I set up my traps in like places just to see if I catch anything? Like trying to catch random animals.
Okay. So you set up your traps and before you head off to sleep, and so you go and you plunk yourself up on top.
Hey, right now.
Yeah.
There are traps.
Uh-oh.
You go plunk yourself up on top. I'm assuming you're letting people know where you put the traps.
Yes. I'll make everyone aware. Be like, oh, by the way, I put a trap over
Okay.
there.
Don't step
and over
here.
there.
Or you're gonna have a bad time.
Oh,
Cover them in
man.
some leaves, so you
Oh,
know,
I
don't
just
step
remember
in them.
just... Kay, you're... Kay, how did your leg get stuck in a bear trap? The feeling I'm gonna have animatronic limbs by
It
the
was
time
that.
this campaign
It was
is
that
over.
there cannibal Shia LaBeouf.
All right. So,
So you go plunk
perception.
yourself down on top of the rock. Roll me a perception check.
I also left
A 10.
instructions to wake me if the traps catch anything.
That's a 10.
10. There's you can hear like like small bugs chirping in the area, and like any attempt like looking for and all that, like things like, is it coming from whether you're trying to get a look and it goes quiet, and then you hear it off to the side, so you're looking and say, what? Then it goes quiet, and almost as if they're taunting you from various sides.
I blame Beanard.
Beanard stirs in my sleep.
But your watch comes and goes without issue. How are you waking up, Anna?
Anna.
Kay. I'm not taking second watch anymore. yes, I know, Beanard. Jeez, okay, let's go. I'll climb out of my tent.
And Kay dives into bed. Like, Kay, to be clear, Kay is always in his tent by the time Anna even remotely gets out to be like, and he is gone.
Amazing.
He just hits the side of the tent a couple of times and then walks away.
Okay, so as I come out of my tent again, another firefly just to give me some light, and I'm gonna park myself in. No, I'm gonna do laps not far around where her traps might have been, Zuginks, but just like through the tents, just really close.
Okay.
Just to walk and observe and listen and smell.
Okay. Roll me a perception check.
That's not good at all. 11.
11.
It's better than me.
Yeah, go on. Fair enough.
As you're looking around, you see a small bush, not too far away, and you see what looks to be two glowing eyes peering at you from the bush.
I want to firefly into the bush.
Oh no.
Just, yeah, that's my...
Kate, make your ranged attack.
How did we
Yeah.
burn down the mountain? Well,
Why is the mountain on
Firefly. Fireflies don't light things on fire, do they? In this
No.
world? Okay.
Well, no, not
we rebranded one of Anna's spells, and so instead of I can't remember what the name of the spell we
Firebolt.
No, it wasn't
Firebolt.
Firebolt. Produce flame.
Producing, and we converted it to being a firefly.
Okay, so yeah.
Yeah,
No actual fire involved in flinging a firefly.
No firefly involved in flinging the firefly.
But fire is...
Fire is definitely involved.
15.
So your little firefly like conjures up and like takes off and does kind of a little flitting around, and then hits into the bush, and this bush just erupts into flames.
Ha!
And nothing flees from the bush. It just erupts into flames, and there's now a flaming bush.
How big is the bush?
Does it talk back?
The bush does not talk back.
A burning bush.
Exactly!
But no, the bush isn't terribly big. Maybe a bit bigger than a basketball.
Any of us woken up by sudden light and burning?
Yeah.
In your tents, and probably not, because I'm guessing you probably have a fire pit by your tents as well.
Yeah, true.
I should probably deal with that. I'm gonna try and like kick up dirt on it and stuff. God.
I'm really glad that you're the one that found that. Jeez.
Roll me a
Stupidity check.
It would be probably survival.
roll me a survival check for trying to douse this flame.
10.
You manage to like start. You're like, oh no! And you start like shoveling dirt onto this bush, and after it takes you a little bit, you manage to get the it no longer on fire.
And there's no body of a creature there that
There was
startled
no
me.
body in there of a
Like-
creature.
Well, hopefully no one notices that. All right.
There's just like this like now decrepit bush with like these like like small burnt branches.
Yeah.
Yeah, the rest of your watch goes by without trouble,
Thank
unless
goodness.
you're lighting more things on fire.
Nope.
But yeah, the rest of your watch goes by without issue.
Okay.
How are you waking up Theioryn?
I will conjure just a firefly to hover outside of Theioryn's tent, and I'll go,
Watch is now on for you. I'm going back to bed. Are you up?
I'm awake.
Okay.
So excited to get
Coming
permanent
out.
last watch at some
No.
point. It's gonna be great.
Now, because I have to, do I notice a bush that was once on fire?
Roll me a perception check.
well, I should have given you that firefly.
8.
You don't notice the bush.
Good to know.
I mean, it's kind of buried.
I was gonna say, I also
Well, it's
have...
not completely burned. Like throwing the dirt on it's like douse the flames, but it's still kind of standing.
You have dark vision, don't you?
I have dark vision,
Oh.
and I will not cast control flame to make sure that that fire is not there.
You don't know what you didn't know what
I
happened.
don't see it, so I go and I sit down.
I say, do you want this?
And I point to the firefly.
I'll be fine.
And I snuff it out.
Okay. Roll me your perception check for your watch.
That is a 14.
A 14. As you're sitting there, you see this fat little chipmunk come scurrying into camp and is like sniffing and
I have no food for
moving
you.
around and like kind of like pawing at tents. and-
Nope, I have no food for
Really
you.
wanted to trip the bear trap.
I think you'd be fine.
If you don't get out of here soon, you might end up on Zugink's spit.
And so you're just watching the
Yep.
chipmunk as it
I'm
goes?
watching it as it comes close. I'm talking
narrating
to it.
it.
I'm talking to it. Like, it comes up to... I imagine it coming up to me, making eyes, going, get out of... I've got nothing for you.
And you see as it darts, like as it like moving around, like it kind of looks at you as you're talking to it, just kind of like, what is this thing?
Yeah.
Then like scurries off, and you see it run into your tent.
Oh, no, don't go in. Oh, dumb. Well, it's open, and hopefully it finds its way. I don't have anything. I don't have my food or anything in there.
And it goes rummaging around. You can hear like the keynote scratching and scratching. And after a bit, you see it like dart out and run off.
Does it have anything in its mouth?
Roll me a perception check.
Ah, fuck.
Oh no.
Ah, 14.
It does not have anything in its mouth.
Okay, good.
This fat little chipmunk just scurries off and runs away.
Goodbye, Dale. I'm just gonna sit there and just be like, don't go into tents. That's incredibly rude.
And your watch comes and goes without any other issue.
I go up and I go, Zugink,
Yes.
do you want to take over watch?
Very well.
All right. I'm gonna go back and pretend to not make this awkward for the rest of you.
If you want to do the last watch, I won't argue. I'm in a tent. I can't see you staring at me.
But you feel it. You feel it in your bones. I go back into my own tent and I zip it shut.
I hear like going into the tent like, okay, he went back to bed. Like get up,
I'm
grab
just
my
gonna lay
plate.
there and like.
I'm gonna go check my traps.
Okay. Roll me a d20.
19.
You found a small chipmunk in one of your traps.
Is it already dead or do I have to kill it?
It's very dead. It's been cut in half by the trap.
Oh, jeez.
So there's two halves of this chipmunk. Well, it's bear trap.
I thought the bear trap would have been much bigger than a small.
It's usually
It's booking, so it steps on the plate, which starts.
and then
Yeah.
jumps.
Okay. Yeah. Fair enough.
Because it was startled and then was caught in the middle of the bear trap.
So you have two halves of a chipmunk.
Oh
Is it the
no.
equivalent of a ration?
It could be the equivalent of a ration if you cook it up. Yes.
Okay, I'm going to cook it up. That's going to be my meal for the next day.
Okay.
Great.
Wait, there's no spinies on it.
Yeah, there was spinies on it.
Not that you're aware of.
Okay, yeah, I'll eat it.
So
They
yeah,
would probably eat it too.
And the other trap is just unset?
unset. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll unset it
'Kay.
and pick up both my traps and keep watch.
So all of you kind of startle awake for a moment to hear the clang as this second bear trap is now being set off. Kind of whatever. Go back to sleep.
I hope that wasn't little Dale.
It was Chip.
Probably Chip.
It was probably Chip.
And
Dale's
so,
the smart one.
but you sit down. Now roll me your perception check for your watch.
Natural 20,
Oh god.
Natural 20.
which is
Holy.
21.
As you're sitting there, you hear you hear some shale, kind of rustling and trickling down the rocks. And if you look up, you can spot just a little you can barely make them out just amongst the moonlight, but just the silhouette of a wolf standing up on one of the cliff ridges. Just standing there. It doesn't seem to be paying you any attention.
How
But it's
far
the-
away is this approximately?
If you were to walk there, probably about 6 or 7 minutes.
So within range,
literal
they could
distance?
take interest of our camp.
Could if it were to wander towards you. But at this point, it does not seem to be paying you any mind.
I'm just
I'm
curious
going to
if it's in
stoke
200
the.
feet.
I'm just going to
No.
stoke the fire to make it bigger to hopefully keep them away, and then
Okay.
just kind of continue watching for them.
Okay. So you stoke the fire up, and every once in a while you look up to see if it's still there, and it's there for a bit, and then you're paying it, watching the fire and looking around a little bit, and you look back up, and then it's just gone. You don't know where it's gone. You don't end up spotting it again right away. So
Okay.
your night comes and goes, and the sun starts to greet you as it starts to rise up. Now greeting you on the eastern mountain slope, and the warm rays immediately as soon as the sun crests, and you can start to feel the air just warming up. So as people rise awake,
I'm gonna roll for Constitution.
yes you are.
I'm just gonna leave.
Was that a 1?
Accept it.
Yeah, this is gonna be real bad for me.
Was it a 1?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, 1. Alrighty.
You suddenly have a beard.
I haven't got that far yet. It's probably grown at least another.
Dale's gonna
2
learn
inches.
his barber abilities.
How much did it grow?
So when you went to bed, it was both there, and as the you had after you went back to bed, you had a particularly restless night, and just tossing and turning. And as you wake in the morning, it's about up to there. As it is now, and the spines, even where it had been growing before, have grown a fair bit longer than they had most nights.
Okay, while in his tent, for fear of Zugink, is going to take out his fancy knife set and trim down the barbs as best as he can.
All of them, just the visible ones.
He's gonna do all of them
Okay.
because he knows Theo's gonna bring it up, and so that he can be like, I don't want you to do the thing, it hurts too much when you do it, so I did it myself.
Okay.
And then-
Roll me a dex check.
Yeah. That's a 7.
Oh,
Thank
fuck.
God.
That's a very straight line. I was gonna say.
This dice set that I got, the 7s and the 1s are awfully close together.
I'm just
but
gonna
plus
go and say that.
That's a 9.
That
9?
pretty little D20 should probably go to jail for a bit.
So you take 3 points of slashing damage. You're not accustomed to cutting these barbs off your own hand, and I'm pretty sure you're right-handed.
Yep, that's fine.
So you're cutting at these with your left hand. So you do nick yourself several times. You're trying to cut it, but you manage to cut them down a fair bit.
And can I put the remains just in like a side pocket of, or what the spines in a side pocket of my bag?
Yep.
Cool.
So,
And then I'm going to get up. I'm gonna pack my shit incredibly efficiently. Be like, I'm ready to go. I'm gonna go. Let's go. Come on, let's go. I'm gonna go. Because, I know of the problem, and I'm still super stressed out that someone's gonna cut my arm off. So because of that, I'm not gonna tell Theo that it got worse in fear of Zugink.
Okay.
So I'm putting my tent away. I'm like, Jesus, I think Kay wants to go.
I'm sitting there cooking the squirrel.
Oh, did you catch some? You caught something last night?
Yes, a squirrel.
Chipmunk.
Or was it chickmunk?
Chipmunk.
Oh, a chipmunk, you say?
You've got these just two halves of the chipmunk skewered.
Alas, poor Dale, we hardly knew ye. Kay, remember our little chat yesterday?
Uh-huh.
Will you come show me?
I show Theo my butchered arm of...
Did you
Kay,
try and cut these yourselves?
I don't like it when you do it. It hurts.
Yes, I see. I understand, Kay.
So
But
I tried.
yeah, I see. You tried. Good job. Kay, I've noticed it gotten a little worse again last night.
Did she notice?
Of course I
Or
would
did
notice.
she
You go
notice the
from here to
large amount
here.
of cuts?
Are you wearing your bracer?
I'm fully dressed and ready to go, so yes.
So you can only
Oh.
see his hand.
Okay, I can only
Because
see
the
his hand.
bracer
Shit.
covers over this, so you can't actually see his forearm.
Oh, never mind then. Well, okay. I know that Zugink scared you probably quite a bit yesterday.
So we should go. Let's
Okay.
go.
All right, fine, we'll go.
He's still real on edge about this whole situation. He has not calmed down yet, and waking up to whatever this was not helping him, because that means like tomorrow he's losing his arm. He's not really okay with that. So yeah.
Anna throws her backpack on and then remembers about the bush and is like, yeah, we should actually go right now. That's a good idea.
Oh yeah, did I notice that bush in my watch? I had a natural 20 on my...
You were distracted by your
You were watching the wolf.
In the wall.
And you were cooking your gopher.
Yeah, we should get going.
Anna and Kay seem really on edge this morning.
Okay, just like we're just gonna go. We were walking. I believe
I
you're
kind of
walking.
like,
I'm
I
walking
kind of go
with
like
purpose.
this and go, must be rubbing off.
And I'm
So that way you can keep up reasonably well.
Yep.
And we're not sprinting. We are walking with purpose along the trail.
Go.
Using proper climbing technique, of course.
I know we just met, but when did it come to the point that they couldn't talk to us and share their feelings with us? You're absolutely right. We've only just met. Why would they do that? I'll just walk up. Remember those times we used to sit around the kitchen table as a family and talk? I remember those days. Oh, wait. We never had those days.
Wait, they were a week ago.
Yeah, wait. We had one a week ago.
I tried bonding with Zugink over beer, and now I'm afraid to remove my arm.
Oh, stolen beer. Forgot about that.
Yeah.
It's like, how did you drink? Yeah.
So the day's
Zugink
hike.
likes Kay, just doesn't want Kay to die, so he
Yes,
has to remove
but
Kay's arm.
currently Kay is trying to compartmentalize his fear, and his fear is losing arm is up here. Zugink was nice to me is down here. They don't equate, so he's afraid
Understandably so.
because he's never really been threatened by someone that that can follow through.
Well, you think I could actually remove your arm?
He does
With
not
one
question it.
Have you seen him? He's a stick.
You could absolutely. All you need to do is knock me out, put my arm up, one swing, gone.
Maybe two, depending on how you roll.
It would be really uncomfortable for me. So, with purpose,
Fair.
looking for a cave.
So the day's hike starts out quite pleasant. Warm sun shining down, gentle breeze brushing past. But as you roll into the later afternoon, early evening, dark clouds begin to loom overhead. And as the clouds just like cascade over top this, like over the sun, dragging that cold mountain breeze much earlier on in the day. And as the trees have thinned quite a bit by this point, you have very little cover against the wind. And you can feel that cold mountain wind just kind of like pulling at you. The cold, damp wind just kind of whisking away what heat you had. Okay, give me a survival check. This is not with advantage.
12.
12? Even though you're not necessarily used to mountains, you are used to still, like, the passing of the weather and all that kind of stuff in the forest. And you figure you have maybe at most about 30 minutes before the rain's going to hit. Possibly less because you are unfamiliar with mountains.
Anna, I think it's going to rain.
Your finger immediately gets really cold because of the wind.
I was like, yeah, I think you're right. Well, that's unfortunate. Maybe we can find a...
Wait, can I tell how bad of a storm it's going to be? Can I sort of sleuth it out and...
Roll me a nature check.
They're at 13.
13? You don't know? You figure it's probably going to be pretty bad?
I figure it's probably going to be pretty bad. Let's find a place to hunker down.
Cool.
Well, unless you want to walk through the storm.
No.
Yeah.
Because I pull up my hood even higher. No.
Beanard, find me a cave.
Yeah,
Beanard goes flaring off.
Yay.
And Kay is very specifically looking through wherever he can see to be like, what looks like it might be a cave or provide shelter.
Okay. For anyone looking for caves, rolling a perception check. Beanard does not get a perception check.
I figured as much.
Oh, that's a 22.
As accurate as I am, I rolled a 2.
22.
16.
22.
Or non-natural 20.
Non-natural 20.
Modified 20.
I know that word
And you had
exists,
what?
and I always just say non-natural.
What did you say?
16.
16? Okay. So the three of you spot a large outcropping of rock, easily enough to give you shelter. It's just a small hike up and off of the road. And you can't, because of where you are, you can't tell whether there'd be a cave up there, but from where you're standing, you at least see like a large outcropping over top that would at least provide shelter.
Anyone feel like climbing?
I haven't climbed in a very long time.
Do we see...
I immediately pull out rope.
Is there anything else that might house a cave, or is that the only thing within distance that we can see?
It's the only thing that you figured you'd be able to get to before the rain hits.
Next question. Does it smell ozone-y?
Oh, yeah.
Is there going to be thunder with this?
Roll me a perception check.
God, the fuck.
Nope.
14.
There's definitely ozone.
It's like 19.
Alright, so with the ozone aroma that Kay really loves, he's gonna be like, alrighty, let's go. And it's not a straight climb, it's more one of those incredibly steep walks.
Yeah, it's a steep walk. It's not like you're having to climb a cliff to get there.
I like to think that Zugink is going to want to climb it anyways. Like, there's
just bugbear mode activate.
There is an area
on all fours.
a little bit, like if you follow the path a little bit further, there's an area where it's mostly a climb up.
No,
Okay.
I'm smart before desire to climb.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, so Kay is very much going to be like, yo. And beeline it with proper hiking technique, even though the wind is picking up and it's painful, proper hiking technique will still get me there faster.
Okay. And so is everyone all heading up to the cave then?
Yeah.
Yep.
Or the outcropping? So as you reach the outcropping, you do find yourself at the mouth of a cave. Looking around, you can see a few empty drying racks sitting there, as well as some makeshift benches, just a couple logs with a notch cut in and then another log laid across on top. So you're definitely not the first ones here, not the only ones here. But the cave inside seems to go in, and then at least from where you're standing, it looks like it curves upwards a bit.
Cool. Can Kay yell into the cave? Hello.
Yeah. Roll me. Fuck, there is no like how loud am I check.
Yeah.
I can just roll a d20 for volume.
Roll me d20.
That's a 14.
14? Okay. So you go, you yell into the cave. What is it you're yelling?
Hello!
Hello! Hello! Hello! And you hear your voice echo into your echo voiced into the cave.
My echo has
echo
a voice?
Your echo voice.
Wow!
Your voice echoes into the cave. And then you hear a voice call out from behind you. So, coming up from where you just come from, actually. Oi there, travellers! And a rugged, brown-skinned, half-orc male is approaching you. His arm just waving leisurely as he's approaching you. A quick look over him, you can see a wolf pelt draped across his shoulders. A large great axe is just clipped onto his back, and he has a small hand axe strapped to his hip. In his free hand, he's holding 4 or 5 dead rabbits by the ears, and as he's walking towards you, he's making no visible attempt to reach for either weapons.
One thing, is Beanard in the cave? Or, do I notice Beanard in the cave?
Roll me a perception check.
11?
You don't know where Bernard is.
Kay spins around creatively, not expecting that the voice that he was expecting it from
in the
front
cave?
of me, and so he does a pirouette type thing where he just puts his legs on his heels and he just spins 180 degrees.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hi! Wow, you're quiet."
And he just smiles. Gotta be if you're doing hunting. What's got a ragtag bunch of you trekking around the Antrak?
We're hiding out a storm.
Apparently one is on the way.
Yep, from the smell of it, it's going to be a doozy. Welcome to join me in the cave if you want.
I'll say
Yes.
you. I'm gonna walk up and say, "Hi, I'm Anna," and hold up my hand.
And he's going to reach down, just engulf your hand into his, because you have tiny hands.
Very
and
used to it.
This is a half-orc, because he just engulfs your hand and just shakes. You can feel yourself bouncing a little bit. He shakes a little bit rougher than you might be used to, especially in comparison to the turtle.
Okay.
And he's like, the name's Kyle Rang. My crew and I have been hunting up these parts for about a week now. Found this little cave, cleared out the gobbies inside. It's made for a good outpost while we're here.
I'm sorry, your crew?
Oh yeah, got a few more up inside probably.
Are you like a hunting party, or?
Oh yeah. We come up to the Antrak every once in a while, go hunting for a couple of weeks and go back, sell a haul.
Does your cave go any deeper than where you guys are at?
No, it's a bit of a shallow cave actually.
Goblins, I think, stay in. You said it was a home to goblins.
There's about 8 or 9 of them in there.
There were. All right. Well, Kay's convinced, and just gonna spin and walk right in.
Okay. He walks along and is heading on in with you, and he's like, "Yeah, this trip hasn't exactly been the greatest haul we've ever had." He's holding up the handful of rabbits.
It hasn't been the greatest haul. You have a wolf and a handful of rabbits with you.
Oh, well, the wolf pelt's from previous trek, and that wasn't through here. But the rabbits were only about maybe a fifth of our traps had anything, so definitely not the best haul we've had.
Can I do a perception check on the rabbits to see if they're spiky at all, or if they look pretty normal, per se? 18?
The rabbits are pretty normal. You're not spotting any spikes on them.
I'm really impressed that we're all super paranoid about the spikes that are on my hand from that one instance
To
with
be
the
fair,
bad spike thing.
we've been dealing with spikes since day one.
No,
No.
you were. I
Black
think you
Ichor.
were.
Huh? Oh, yeah,
Black
that's
Ichor
right.
was
Yeah, but
bears.
the Ichor isn't visible until we stab him.
And then I'm gonna walk up to Krang and say, quick question for you. As you've been hunting, have you noticed any animals that are sort of oozy or spiky or just weird and wrong?
Not much for that. We did manage to snag an interesting creature a couple of days ago, but not oozing.
What was so interesting about it?
And he, like, as you are cresting the top of this little, like, ramp essentially leading up into the cave, Karandi chills out,
Breck, guys, get your asses presentable. We got company.
and you can hear some grunting and muttering as you crest the top of the slope, and there are two more half orcs in this cave, and it's like a circular room, essentially, with, and like still relatively natural formation, but you see a groove carved into the stone near one of the walls. And you can see a little bit of water trickling down that, as if they or someone else, possibly the goblins, had made a way to just drain any water that was seeping into the cave. But you see the couple of half orcs sitting there, and they kind of look the party over and nod as you walk in. Kerrang motions to a large tarp that's draped over some kind of square case of some sort. You can see a couple of wolf pelts off to the side of it, and Kerrang tosses the rabbits to one of the half orcs, and he's like,
Left one's Gaz, right one's Breck.
and then he looks at them.
Yeah,
Gaz
that's
and-
right today.
Gaz and Breck?
Gaz and Breck.
Okay, Gaz, not Graz.
And he walks over to the tarp, and he pulls it back, and you can see the metal bars of a large cage, about 4 feet high and about 5 feet wide and deep. And there's something in the cage that... Actually, does anyone not have dark vision? That's right. That's right.
Is it so dark that you can't see without dark vision? Because I would have produced a firefly.
It's not easy to see without dark vision. Like, there's still a little bit of light because there is a campfire, but it's not right near the cage. But yeah, you could easily whip up a...
Okay.
As,
I'm just gonna live off the light of the firefly, then, I guess.
as you whip this little firefly, Kerrang just kind of like turns his head.
I've always thought it's interesting when people can do stuff like that. I tried. I'm better at hitting things.
My mom would like you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she hit things for a living.
Sounds like my kind of lady.
And then I'm going to take a good look at whatever's in.
So the creature within the cave appears female and humanoid in form. Initially, it's curled into a ball on the floor of the cage, but as the cloth is removed, it kind of jumps, moving back against the far side of the cage. Its skin is tinged with like pale greens and browns, and its skin looks almost as if it's made of bark. Emerald eyes, wide with fear, look over and look across each member of the group. And its hair, almost dreadlock in form, writhes as if made of living vines. Small branches jut through its skin, mostly around some of the joints, like its wrist and elbows and knees. Small leaves sprouting forth from some of them.
Is this a nature or an arcana check?
Yeah.
Do
I know what it is?
Yeah.
Roll me a nature check. And Craig's like,
I ain't never seen something like this before.
Oh, that's
Probably
a 7.
worth it for a bit, though.
and Kay. Archie, what was your roll?
I only rolled a 5, so I've never seen this
9.
before.
Checking my bonus. This was Nature?
Nature.
It's that moment when the DM says, "You've
16.
seen this before."
16.
16? Okay. You're not... You think you might have heard of these things before, but you're not entirely sure. But Kay, you do know what this is. This is a dryad. These are mostly solitary creatures and often sought after because of their beauty. And they primarily exist, like, they're not common to see within the material plane. They mostly exist in the Fey realm, which is the main reason why you've seen this.
Cool. So my immediate response as recognizing it is, do they appear injured besides the fact that they're in a cage?
Roll me a perception check.
It's 14.
They do not appear injured.
Cool. I immediately ask them if they're okay. Or, like, in Sylvan, I'm like, hey, besides the fact that you're in a cage right now, are you okay?
I also have my hand on my axe because I'm uncomfortable that there's a humanoid in a cage, even though I don't know what it is.
I'm absolutely on you, but I can talk to the thing, so I'm like, I don't want to get super angry or panicked yet, but I want to talk to the thing in the cage.
So, as Cade turns to this dryad, he starts talking in a language that none of you have ever heard before.
Word vomit.
And especially compared to Kay's usual kind of like choppy form of speech, where it's kind of like start, stop when that you hear when he's speaking common, it is unusually fluid.
Your first language is Sylvan.
It's not, actually. It's my second language.
That's because everyone starts with common.
Well, no. Remember how I got to where I was. I learned common first.
The rest of us don't know.
Anyways.
But you see Cade turn and just start speaking this very fluid language. And the Dryad's eyes kind of light up and glimmer, that little bit of hope surging forth. And while the rest of you can't necessarily understand her words, her body language,
you notice the reaction,
and the inflections that she's using seem to be as if she's begging. And so the rest of you hear just "Alas thomain, istero malo, orisuna," and she looks at you, and like as she's saying this, and she's basically saying, it's like, I'm not hurt, but I don't know what they're going to do with me.
Cool. I say that in the... Okay, I get it. Let's leave this alone. Just, I'll see what I can do, sort of, inquiry without being like, I'm not gonna do anything super crazy in this exact moment, but I feel more towards the Dryad than I do to any of the people in my party because, well, it's a family.
Yeah.
Party members.
Yeah.
Party members with Mama Bugbear, Daddy.
We've only known each other a few weeks. I mean, I've probably never seen a Dryad before, Dryad.
Yeah, you haven't seen this particular Dryad, but you've seen Dryads before, but even within the Fey realm, they're still not common.
So I'm going to rotate to Kaurang?
Kaurang, yep.
Kaurang. That's not what I wrote down. Excellent.
What did you write down?
I wrote down Kaurang, so...
I also wrote down Kaurang.
So did I.
Karang.
I spelled it right.
Well,
at least one of us gets it.
what are you going to do with it?
Also, why is it in a cage?
Also, Kay, do you know what this is?
First question. What are you going to do with it?
So, as you...
And I'm looking at him like ignoring my party members who have very... I'm like looking at him very like deadpan serious, like not a look that any of them have ever seen on Kay. I am deadpan looking at him going, what are you going to do with the creature in the cage?
And as you turn, like, even as you were, like, just speaking Sylvan to her, you see Karain just kind of, like, crinkling his nose, looking at you, and, like, as you turn and face him, he's like,
Oh, don't worry about her. She'll be released. Someone will pay us a bunch of money and then they'll take good care of her.
Aha!
Is it too early to swing things at the
Define a
half-orc?
bunch of money.
Well, I don't know exactly what this thing is, but probably worth a fair bit, though.
Okay. Articulately is going to come up with the most elaborate lie he possibly can.
I'm gonna, before you start, I'm gonna put my hand, I'll be like, I'll give you 5 gold for her right now. That's all I have.
That's an adorable offer, little missy. Or little mister, but...
If I was Effie.
you're
I
still
bristle at being called a little missy.
you're still short of the comparison with him. But
He's like, it's an adorable offer, but probably get several hundred, if not close to 1,000 gold for something like this. I've been hunting for probably close to 30 years. No, I ain't never seen something like this, so the rarity in itself is worth a fair bit.
You hunt people?
No,
and he points to the wolf pelts, and
it's like, normally it's game like that. Deer, elk, wolves, bears, but stumbling across a creature like this, you take what you get, especially in a rougher time like such as this.
But it's a person.
It's not a person.
It is humanoid.
It speaks a language.
Technically, some of the other things I've eaten, but...
Yes, well, we did just witness our friend Kay, who is definitely a human, speak to it.
And honestly, downright creepy.
Can I do an insight check on the other two? Do they feel the same way as Karang? Like, are they all for it, or do they seem uneasy with the idea of
If any of you look at
harboring this?
Zugink, like all muscles tense, like I want to kill this guy.
Oh yeah. Like I'm very much.
Like I can't open my mouth because it's going to be like you are going to die.
No, so see, Zugink has the exact same expression that Kay does right now, but the problem is, I know where Karang is. I don't know where the other two are because I've been blinded by there is a cage on my right, a dude on my left, and that's all I know. Everything else is very gone at the moment. But unfortunately, I don't have a bow drawn, so all I have are my very, like, I can hunter's mark and then swing short swords is what I could
but before we do that, insight check on the other two that Anna was trying to do.
and
Yep.
Breck.
Yep, give me your insight check on them.
12.
They seem fine with it.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Sir, with all due respect, I know it's pretty rare, but do you honestly want to take the chance of selling something you know nothing about?
Honestly, the reason I'm willing to sell something I know nothing about is because I know nothing about it. I'd rather sell it and have the money, which I do know about. And honestly, I've allowed you to come into my camp, getting you out of what is likely a hell of a storm outside. And frankly, you can either stay and drop the issue, or you can leave. But either way, I'm not giving up my meal ticket.
Cool. So
Is it time to swing yet?
Here's a fun question. Who is he facing?
Probably me right now.
Cool. Like,
Because the way I'm picturing it is that the group is closer towards the cage, and he is behind all of you. So, technically, he's like, to talk from one person to the other, he's not even going to turn his body, he just turns his head.
cool. I'll I want to stab him.
I also want to swing at him.
I am actively like I'm worried for my people.
Yeah.
Like aggressively worried, and also he went from being an okay guy to a person who don't like me. And we tried being arguably diplomatic.
Well, we've only said a few things.
Exactly.
I've wanted to stab him since I've seen the Dryad.
All of our options are gone.
Mm,
Our options are murder.
No, Anna does not agree, but that's
Yeah.
neither here nor there. So you do your initiative or whatever.
Yeah.
Play this out. Whew.
So you're going to try and take a swing at him?
That's okay. Yeah.
Is that what you were doing?
Can one of us roll a reaction to stop him?
Are you taking a swing at him?
Yeah.
If he starts taking a swing, that's the same thing I'm doing. So they have to stop both of us.
Do we have a map?
Okay.
So who is going to attempt to who's wanting to try and stop Kay if he tries to make a move?
I will make a reaction to put my hand out and try and stop him.
Okay. I need you to roll me a perception check first.
That is a 22.
Awesome.
Okay.
So you can definitely
You
notice I'm about to do a thing.
You definitely
Yeah.
notice that Kay goes to reach for his sword.
Okay, I just go out and I try and just put my hand and just be like, wait. Kay, why don't you tell us what this is, since you obviously know what this is?
How does Kay respond to that in his mini rage?
I don't know. How does Kay respond to that?
I'm trying to think. They are a member of my family. No one hurts my family.
See, there you go. It's a member of his family. Do you honestly want to be on the line for selling this boy's family member?
And he just looks at you, looks you up and over, and just scoffs. You're human. And looks back at the Dryad in the cage. That's not.
Are you saying that humans and other creatures can't be family?
Looking at
You
him.
yourself are a half-orc.
Oi.
I'm sorry, I have to point it out.
Now, here's the thing, though. If this was his family, then clearly he'd be able to do at least some of what she can.
Well, if we're going to say it that way, can you do everything that a human and an orc can do? Everything?
Eat, drink, stab, reproduce. Yup.
He's not wrong.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Frankly, I'd like to see this boy go walking in and out of a tree.
Can Mama Bugbear sing now?
Does Anna have anything she would like to say to the matter?
Anna's not speaking. Anna wants to look up the cage and can she see a padlock? What kind of cage is it?
Roll me a perception check. Actually, I guess this would be an investigation.
Just because
That's worse.
I don't want to curb anyone else's thought.
14.
14. The cage is bolted on all sides to hold the cage together. There is a door that has a heavy padlock on it.
Okay. And what's the... And it's metal cage all the
Metal
way around.
cage, yeah.
Ugh, fiddlesticks.
I'm gonna quickly do a detect magic if I can.
Does detect magic have verbal components?
Shit, I
Yes.
think it does. It does. Never mind.
It does? Okay. So you're not going to cast Detect Magic?
I'd like to under my breath, but
That's
Considering proximity,
he will see it.
he
So
would
never
see it here.
mind.
Yeah. And so, were you going to try and take a swing?
I would like to.
But are you going to is the question.
Yeah.
Is anyone stopping Mama Bugbear from swinging the glaive at the half-orc?
The little
Well,
verdant is
currently your
not
glaive
gonna stop
is, I'm
Bugbear.
assuming, like,
Well, is anyone stopping me
so
from
you'd have to
drawing
make a
the
very-
glaive?
you have to realize that, like, at this point, you reaching for your glaive is a very
obvious.
Yeah.
gesture of, we are getting violent.
Yeah.
So grabbing your glaive is not going to be a subtle thing. and
I'm
it's
not
gonna
trying to
I'm
be
gonna grab
subtle
this
at
and then
this
start
point.
attacking.
No, I'm not trying to be subtle at this point. I'm ultimately going, I want to attack this person.
Yeah.
As you're pulling out your glaive, I'm just gonna be like, Sir, I am sorry, but I really do think for the benefits of both of our parties, you should probably let this thing go. Money or not, is it really worth it?
And he looks the four of you over as you're reaching, and he is noted that you are reaching for your glaive. And he's going to take a couple steps back, and he's going to call out to the other two half-orcs that are in there.
Looks like we got a bit of trouble on our hands.
And I'd like everyone to roll an initiative.
Shit.
Well, that's a 3. I'm going last.
And you should have a map now.
Oh. Oh.
Right. It's 2 fingers of it, correct? Okay.
Okay, so we have... So who has 20 or higher for their initiative?
I'm close.
15 to 20?
Yep.
17.
18.
17, 18? So Anna has 18, and Zugink has 17. Okay, and then 10 to 15? Hot damn.
Yep.
Okay.
They definitely go before us.
You stopped me from fighting. That's
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting at.
He has
right
a
now.
really big axe.
You're stopping me from performing any actions.
And then brick. Okay, and then 5 to 10?
Me.
At
9.
What? 9?
Yep.
And Kay, what are you at?
I have a 3.
You're so ready to go.
You're so ready to go.
No. See, that's what I mean. I was great, but then someone stopped me.
Alrighty.
I was good to take attack of opportunity.
So you can all see the map?
Yep.
Yeah.
Spiffy. So, Anna, you are first up.
Okay, so this log that's right here.
That is a bedroll.
That's a. Oh, my bad. Never
Logs are
mind.
up there. Bedroll. Bedroll. There's a crate over here. And some bags up in that corner. But yeah, those are bedrolls.
And this is the cage, correct?
Yes, that is the cage.
All right. And what side is the padlock on?
It is on the front side.
So the side
So
closest
directly
to me.
behind you.
Yes.
Hot diggity dags.
So, you wouldn't be able to turn around. I was like, I'm gonna get this without them noticing.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm gonna put my hands up, and I'm gonna walk to the logs. Are they giant logs, or could I feasibly lift it?
They're not giant logs. Like they're probably about yay long and probably about that big around.
Oh, I'm not gonna do that. That's stupid.
Yeah, so it's not like this colossal log or small stakes. They're logs for firewood.
All right. Well, what I'm going to do then is tap on my icon and move. Whew. All right. Well, I want to move here.
Want me to show
Well,
you?
are you?
To the back of the cage. I'm having a bit of trouble.
One moment.
Oh, there we go.
So I'm pretty sure that these are set to be accessible.
Yeah,
for all
I can
players.
move it now.
Yeah, I'm just verifying everyone else's. Yep, everyone's controllable by all characters. Good.
So I would just like to shimmy my way to the back of the cage there.
Okay.
And get down at eye level with the person, and using my limited telepathy, I want to ask if I got enough wood up against the cage, could you phase through it?
What is read me limited telepathy?
You can telepathically, communicate simple ideas and concepts with any creature within 30 feet of you as long as it understands at least one language.
Okay. She looks at you and she shakes her head no.
Yeah. Okay.
Fiddlesticks.
Okay, back to the drawing board. I believe that is a action.
Well, that would be your free act. Well, actually, is it stated an action to use limited telepathy? Let's check on D&D Beyond. Find out features and traits. Doesn't state that it'd have to be an action. I'll say we use that as a free action, just because it's essentially like talking.
As a free action. Okay.
So you can still make an action this turn.
Okay. And then as my action then, I am going to... It does have a verbal component, but I'm behind the cage and I don't really care. I'm going to conjure up Magic Stone.
Okay. So you have your little...
Beetles, I guess.
Yeah, you grab basically, you scoop up a couple of beetles off the ground as you're holding them in your hand. This little bit of magic surges into them, and you have 3 magical beetles.
Okay. And I am going to hold my action until the dwarves are good, or half-orcs are good and distracted.
Okay. Zugink.
I'm going to hit the person, that dude.
I'm a hit jerk face boy who's all about the gold.
Did it do the circle
Hold
thing?
it.
Maybe.
Long.
You gotta hold it and then release.
There we go.
Yeah.
That guy.
Yep, so you're aiming for Kerrang.
You gotta.
I'm gonna take a swing.
I think you gotta move closer to him, don't you?
Nope.
No, you don't.
15 feet.
Oh Jesus Christ!
That's an axe.
Terrifying.
Okay, so make your attack roll.
Oh, that sucked.
This is what you get for trying to swing at something at the edge of your...
To be fair, you all swing at the edge of your range all the time. So that is an 11. I assume that does not hit.
11 does not hit.
I'm going to action surge and do it again.
Okay.
I am angry, Bugbear.
You're angry Bugbear. There's a person in that.
Yeah, that was worse.
Put that die in jail. Put that die in jail.
So you go and you swing your first attack with your glaive, and by this time, Kerrang has already got his battle axe out, and he just knocks your glaive down with that first swing. You pull back and take another go, and he just catches it with the hook on his axe and just pushes it out of the way, and just kind of looks at you, and you can see him just grin as you're trying to take these swings at him. And now it's Kerrang's turn. And I need to check one thing. With items. So he is going to take a step forwards. Or a couple steps forward to here. And he's... now that he's standing right up in front of you and actually looking a bit more imposing, you realize he's not much shorter than you are.
Yep.
And he's just going to look at you and laugh. That's not how you hit. And he's going to rage as he's bringing...
I knew he was a barbarian!
He's going to rage as he's bringing his axe in for a swing.
I knew he was a barbarian! As soon as you're like, great axe, I'm like, and a hatchet, I'm like, he's a fucking barbarian. He's a fucking barbarian.
The pelt on the shoulder.
Pelt, he's not wearing any armor, he's a fucking barbarian!
Does a 21 hit you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And the great axe is 1d12.
We're gonna die.
You all have so little confidence.
Only because I know that now he's raging. All sorts of, well, the only thing, all of your damage will be halved.
That's 15 damage.
Okay.
Yep. And he hits hard. He's got a great axe, which means he's rolling a d12
I'm sorry,
plus
he is
his
rolling a
strength.
D12.
15
damage.
damage?
Yeah. Plus his strength.
Well, it's 15 damage, so...
Yes.
That's
d12 plus his strength.
Plus rage damage.
Plus rage damage.
At least it's not a zealot. That would hurt
Remember
more.
that Effie at level 5 could do like 30 damage.
Really hoping I don't get on his bad side.
Yeah.
I think you're
I think we're
kind of
already
on
on
his
his
bad
bad
side.
We're on his bad side.
I was like, no, okay, cool,
Yeah.
cool.
You like ran away to the back of the cage and you're
Yeah.
hiding currently.
Yeah, you can interpret it that way.
So you take a heavy blow, and like the axe just like cleaving. You can like feel as the blade is just like cutting through a bit of the chainmail with that blow, and you take a hard hit. And then he's just gonna look at you and, come on, hit me,
Fight me.
Give me a hug. Give me a hug.
Yeah, shit.
I love Hostile Ultimate. Alrighty, and that puts us to... Oh, that is the wrong page.
Last, oh lordy.
That puts us to Gaz.
Yep.
Which one was it? No, that's Breck. Breck, who is wearing leather armor, is going to move up towards Kay. And he is going to pull out a short sword. And he is going to take a swing at you.
Okay.
And...
Oh, that means I should look at my stat sheet.
probably be a good idea.
Yeah.
Does 17 hit you?
Yeah.
This is real.
Yeah, guys.
Okay. Oh. There we go. So the short sword is 1d6. You take 6 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
Or piercing. Why is no short sword?
Oh,
Why is
not
short sword
90.
piercing.
Yes.
You are just
He's dead.
pile of ichor.
Instant dead.
App is like, you do, you 90. I'm like,
No.
What?
ouch! What did I do?
Walk it off.
Yeah.
God, why?
Probably a flesh wound.
Okay, and see, you take that one hit from him. Breck is also going to move forward, and he's going to move forward towards Zugink. And he is going to also take a swing at you with his short sword. Oh, that wrong base. Does a 16 hit you?
Nope.
So as he pulls out his short sword and takes a swing, you manage to just like get your glaive out and just block that hit, just stopping it from being able to make any kind of solid connection. And that puts us to Theo.
Theo, with his free action, would like to yell, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa! Whoa! Enough!"
I don't think that works.
Intimidate.
Just gotta roll intimidate or something there.
Is that what you want me to do?
Diplomacy.
If you're trying to stop the fight,
Yeah, I am trying
then
to
it's
stop the
going-
fight.
It's going to require you to use an action to either
Okay, yeah.
persuasion, intimidation.
Yeah, I'm
what
going
are you
to
what are
start-
you trying to do?
Let me look at here. I'm probably gonna. They're the same thing, so I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna yell, and I'm gonna be like, enough!
Okay. So give me that roll.
Come on, baby, mama needs a new fucking pair of shoes. I rolled a 10.
Fiddleford.
Fiddlesticks!
So Gaz pays no attention to you.
Of course he doesn't.
Which one's Gaz? Is it the one attacking me?
Yes, Gaz
Yeah.
is attacking you. Actually, can. No, I can't make any symbols on there that would make it so you can actually see who's.
That's
who
fine.
is. That's fine. Yeah, Gaz is attacking you currently. Breck, who is
Yeah.
the one who just attacked, he kind of looks over and and then Kerrang, surprisingly,
Yeah?
like you can see a little bit of like spittle in his lips as he turns.
Yeah.
His eyes still full of rage, but he's
Yeah.
looking at you, waiting to see what you're gonna say
Yeah.
next.
Everyone stop!
And you just see his grip on his great axe tighten. What are you saying?
We can talk this out like civilized people. You two, calm down.
I haven't even done anything yet!
You got stabbed.
You two,
Yeah, you got stabbed.
calm down. All right. Let's talk this out. Obviously, we have a family member in a cage. Someone is a little upset by that. We get it. You like money. So maybe we can come to an agreement where we're all happy. Huh? Instead of killing each other in a cave? In a storm? Anyone?
I think that's a great idea.
Thank you, Anna!
Just a little voice in the back.
Just cause it's just me, like, haven't even drawn. Both my hands are like prepared to draw weapons, but I haven't.
Just blocked everyone.
It just got stabbed. I'm like, I was one of the people who were most upset by the situation.
So as you're shouting,
Yeah,
once again, Gaz was paying no mind to you at all.
of course.
Breck kind of looks up to Kerrang, and I want you to make a persuasion check directly against Kerrang.
Oh, fuck me. 12.
12? Pass the dice roll. What did he roll?
Rolled an 8. So whatever he gets.
He doesn't have high enough wisdom to counteract that.
Woo.
He's like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's roll this one and get
Roll this one.
And so he looks at you.
Yeah.
He's still holding his great axe. He has not
He can
relinquished
keep
his
holding
grip.
his great
He's
axe.
not relinquished his grip on his great
Yeah.
axe. And he's gonna look at you like,
So then what are you gonna do to make us letting our meal ticket go worth our while? What are you gonna match?
Anyone
we
have
can
some
get.
ideas?
Well, we have money. It might not be the money you think you'll get from selling this person, but I can almost guarantee in these parts of nature-loving people, they're not going to be thrilled to buy a person from you, and we're willing to do it. That sounds terrible.
Oh my god! Anna is being like, we are willing to participate boy in slave trading right now.
Yeah.
You get money in hand at this exact moment, or maybe none at all. Take it.
Zugink doesn't like this idea either and wants to just kill them.
No.
We are talking. The
I am
adults are
literally,
talking.
as you were like holding her, I am like, with a foot or whatnot, I am like, whoa, like enough.
I can hit all three
No,
of those.
I don't
Don't
care.
Get in the way of me swinging at any of them.
I'm putting my foot
Also,
down.
half your health with a single swing.
Exactly.
Anna's gonna crawl on the cage, so she's a bit
How
taller.
much Zugink cares is not enough to stop fighting.
And is
I haven't even started.
Yeah.
No.
This is probably a pretty powerful being. Do you really want to deal with that when you've switched hands? It's gonna be your problem.
Additionally, before, everyone started freaking out, Kay, why don't you show the nice man your hand?
Kay just takes off his thing. It's like massive cursed spines on his hand.
Well, they're not massive right now because you shaved them this morning.
This is true, but it's been half a day of growth, and they're halfway down my arm, which is a lot more than anyone else in this room has seen.
Doesn't that look nasty? We have a feeling we currently have been on a quest to cure our friend of this ailment. There are some crazy things happening in the woods right now.
Do you want to mess with the
Yeah.
dryad?
Do you
That
honestly
might-
want to mess with something that could be the cause of it?
Ooh, that's a bit of persuasion right there.
That's what I should have thought of like 5 minutes ago.
When you started yelling at the apple.
That's fine.
Yeah.
He's gonna stop and just contemplate for a moment, and at this point he has lost his rage, and he's gonna look at the dryad, look over to your arm.
So what are you gonna give us
I have
to let
7.
you take the dryad?
I have 7 gold on me.
33.
10.
My friend has more. And the
Right,
possibility.
you sold stuff.
So that's what? 40?
That's
50?
yeah, pretty close to 50 gold guaranteed in hand this
Yeah,
exact
in
moment.
hand, and there's a very strong possibility that you don't get to deal with strange cosmic forces that have been sweeping through the forest. Again, Kay, hold up your hand. It's been getting worse
Anna
for
waving my
weeks. I don't think you want to deal with that.
And he looks over to Gaz and Breck, and I want you to make one more persuasion check.
Baby mama needs a new pair of shoes. 18. Modified 20. Modified 20.
Okay, let's see what Gaz and Breck think. That's a 13 and a 7 plus their wisdom modifiers. At this point, Gaz has taken, especially as you're like waving around your cursed arm, Gaz takes a step back from you.
Yeah.
And he's like,
I don't want to look like that.
That ain't right.
Okay, you should.
That's fucked up.
Indeed, you should hear him scream at night from the pain. It's very painful, isn't it, Kay?
Have you ever felt like a blade just piercing from the inside out? Like, you've
Oh yeah,
got-
I've been stabbed before.
Yeah, so just think of it, instead of coming in from the outside, there's like 30 or 40 blades slowly piercing your skin. And it never goes away.
Yes, I have to hold him at night. It's very traumatic.
They have to use a creepy slug on me to make the pain
Anna's
subside.
gonna whip out a cure wounds for emphasis and shake the slug.
It is honestly, I've considered having our friend cut off my arm.
Okay. I want you to roll me a performance check.
Oh,
God.
Kay's gonna be real afraid of this one.
Fucking you better roll your nice one. The one that hasn't been fucking us all night.
Well, it's not. Well, okay, fine. I'll just roll the red one because I've only rolled it once tonight.
Fucking kiss it.
What'd you get?
So good.
It's 20.
Yes. Fucking kiss that die. Kiss it.
So, like, Kay is literally using the emotions of his fear towards Zugink cutting off his arm to portray, like, how horrifyingly painful this is. Because Kay is mortified by the idea of having his arm chopped off.
Yeah.
And he's, like, holding back tears, but you can actively see him, like... The eyes are clearly watering. His body is fully shaking, and now as he's he's flexing his muscles a little bit to make it look like they're twitching a little bit as he holds his arm, and as he wiggles his fingers, and then the splines on the arm start to move a little bit because they're attached to the bone. So when you do like that motion, like they just move over each other like they're alive. Just make it as unnervingly uncomfortable as humanly possible, because he's really owning the fact that his entire, almost the good like half of his forearm is growing spines right now.
Yeah.
So yeah.
There you go. Yeah, kiss that die.
I like you, red guy.
Kiss that die. Put it on the pillow.
So, Karang looks at you. Like, his eyes are kind of panning across the group, and he looks at you and looks back. And he's like,
I'll tell you what.
that's where we're going to take a break.
Damn it, Aaron!
It's like 45 minutes later than I normally do.
Yeah, I know. That's
We
why
started combat, and I was like, no, 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 and then you were like, yeah, he rages, no, no, no.
Yeah, we're going to take a quick break, and then we will be back, and we'll find out what the outcome is.
Fuck. Oh.
So we'll be back in about 10-ish minutes. And... boop. Wrong button. There we go. And we're back. It's like, I'm getting wrong buttons all over today. Alrighty. So, before the break, the group had... the car phone.
Phones at D&D, Aaron?
Well, yeah, it was the alarm telling me that 10 minutes break is up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so the group... oh, poop break. Yep, it was a poop break. So, right before the break, the group had decided that stabbing the half-orcs was the best course of action.
It's insane!
Stab our problems.
The stabbing has not gone well so far for Zugink, who took over half their health in a single hit from our barbarian buddy.
Overreacting. This is normal.
It is just a flesh wound.
I can second wind. We have a healer.
Bill will heal you so much!
But as the fight was just getting underway, Theioryn, going full dad mode, started scolding and calling out, trying to settle the chaos that was beginning to ensue. And through some very good rolls and for persuasion, was able to at least talk the group down to discuss, as opposed to discuss with weapons. At least for Karang's group, Not so sure how Zugink is gonna handle
I haven't swung at anything again yet.
Not for lack of wanting to.
I will listen.
But Zukrang has listened to what Theo was saying, with some very dramatic acting from Kay as well. The Crane is like,
So I'll tell you what. You buy her off us. And you can take her and do whatever you will. As for what you will give to buy her from us. Because while I don't quite enjoy the idea of turning into whatever is going on with him, there's not a whole lot she can do from her cage. Don't get me wrong, she's tried to get out. And thus far has failed. So what will you offer in exchange for her?
I have some of the finest mead in this part of the land.
Get them drunk!
It is actually really good mead.
All the way from Bumble Brewery. I can't speak. Brewery.
Grumble Brewery.
I guess you have a fair bit of it, too.
6 bottles.
I would also like to remind, just to say that, even though she is in her cage, a beheaded dog can still bite.
Then clearly you didn't behead him well enough.
I'm pretty sure the analogy is a beheaded snake.
Yeah. Beheaded dog or a beheaded snake.
You beheaded dogs already.
I was thinking Primo Princess Mononoke, okay? Cut off the head of a wolf, it can still bite.
So mead and what else?
We have 50 gold, plus the mead. What's the value of the mead altogether?
10 gold a bottle. It's that good?
You could resell it if
a
you...
deception check on that.
I believe in you!
God. Oh, God.
I believe in you!
It's that good. 13.
He rolled a 15.
Fuck!
And he's gonna look at you. He's like,
They'll laugh.
There ain't no balls of mead worth that much.
Gonna reach into my pouch and pull out and say, "Try me." Gonna offer it up.
Oh.
you're offering him a bottle?
Yeah.
You're offering him an entire bottle that we would have otherwise traded.
I'm wanting him to try some mead.
Fair enough. Okay. Nope.
I'm trying to get your friend out. You
Yeah!
Are you getting the bad end of the deal here?
just saying. I mean, this is not Nathan speaking. This has nothing to do with Kay.
He's gonna grab the bottle and kind of grab the corn, and he's going to take a swig.
As he drinks, I'm gonna say, "Happy bees." Nod my head.
Happy bees.
That's just such an odd thing to say, especially if you don't have context.
Yeah. It's honeyed mead.
Oh, no, it's honey mead, but it
It's
goes back to
by Happy Bees.
Yeah, it goes back to Anna's first session where it's just like, tell you the secret. But yeah, it's like, I can't tell you the secret. Okay, I can tell you. It's Happy Bees. Happy Bees.
Happy bees.
He takes a sip and he's like,
It's good, but it's not 10 gold per bottle good.
and he kind of corks the bottle and hands what's left of it back to you.
What about a crossbow and some bolts? I have some of those.
Hunting supplies are useful.
Well, I have a crossbow and some bolts that I have on me. I've had on me for a while, but I just don't really use it.
he'll hold out his hand to, like, examine it.
I will pass him the crossbow.
And he's gonna...
It is a light crossbow.
Light hand crossbow?
Yeah. It's worth 25 gold pieces.
Okay.
According to D&D Beyond.
He's gonna look at the crossbow and kind of and haw and hand it back to you and...
Doesn't really see any use. Almost as good as new.
He hums and haws on it for a moment. He's like, the gold, the mead, the bow and bolts. And you can have that thing.
Person.
As far as I'm concerned, it's a thing. Just like you.
I'm gonna hop down the
I'm
cage.
just gonna go.
The key, please.
Yeah, I will just take out my crossbow and put down the bolts.
Zugink?
And my 7 gold.
Oh, I suppose.
I'll give you the mead.
Put the meat down.
and then you're putting all the gold down as well?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Put the gold down.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's manage that.
And so as you've...
I think you just have to put the currency and then remove.
Mm-hmm.
So you've placed down the gold, you've placed down the items, and he's going to take a step back and kind of wave to the other half-orcs to step back as well, and he'll toss you the key. Like not even like try and toss it to you, just like kind of tosses it on the ground at your feet kind of thing.
I'll pick it up.
Kay's immediately going to go to the door behind Anna.
Okay.
I'm gonna open the frickin' padlock.
And so you go and you click it in, and the key slides in. A little bit tough, but you manage to click it, and it unlocks. And as you you unlatch it and pull open the door, Kerrang just points out of the cave, and he's like,
Go. You're not spending the night here.
And I wouldn't expect us to spend the night with you either. Let's go, everyone!
I reach in to help the Dryad and be like, hey, let's go. And just offer my hand, and
she's gonna kind of timidly reach up and grab your hand, still unsure of what's going on.
We are leaving now.
Yeah.
Yep. Also, dude, I'm a boss 3,300. Thank you very much for the donation.
Oh, thanks.
We like D&D as well. As you can tell, so we're all sitting around making schmucks of ourselves. But we appreciate that very, very much. So as you take the drive and you start leading them towards the exit of the cave, is everyone heading out?
As soon as I see that the Dryad is safe, I kind of just walk out. I don't like the fact that they were willing to trade with ultimately what I consider slavers.
Oh, we're not wrong.
Not wrong, but
Dad made a call.
pick and choose your battles. I wait till everyone's leaving as left, and I'm going to go, it was a pleasure to meet you. Let's not meet again. And I will back out.
As we exit the cave, can I look to see if there's anywhere that's reasonable cover? Because I'm assuming it's now.
There is a heavy downpour outside right now, and you can hear the thunder cracks, and you see the flicker of lightning trail across the sky. And I want you to give me a perception check.
It's 12.
12.
It doesn't bode well, but I mean it's raining.
It's raining, even with the flash of lightning illuminating the area, but you're not used to the area, and so you're not really able to get a good idea of where you could go.
I'm going to turn to my lovely little dryad girlfriend that is now being escorted out of the cave by me. And I'm
so now she's an escort.
A slave, an escort. That's great.
So she's moving along in the world.
No, but I'm going to ask her if she knows anywhere we could go from here, if she recalls anywhere relatively
and
somewhat less.
She's looking around and she's just in Sylvan. She speaks to you and just saying, I don't know. All I know is that I need to get to my tree.
Do you know where your tree is from here?
Yes, I always know where my tree is.
Perfect. Well, being like, point the way?
And she goes and she starts walking back the way that you originally came from a bit, working her way back down to the main path. I'm guessing everyone is following.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
I mean, I'm going. I'm gonna be wet, and I'm like, I don't care. It's not a safe place.
Pull the hood up even more.
Yeah. So the rain is beating down quite heavily as you follow this dryad. The darkness, just not just from the storm itself, but also from night setting in, makes traversing the area a bit rough. You do end up, after about 2 hours of like weaving in and out of the area, like finding, or she leads you to a elm that is very out of place in contrast to the rest of the trees. Because it's most of what you've seen, pine. And yeah, you get the just one elm tree just there. And she looks back to you, and in Sylvan, she says to you, Kay, tell them that I appreciate for all they've done. I thought I'd be here forever.
I respond with, be safe, like an insert common Sylvan farewell statement here. And then relay the message to my friends as we are still in the pouring
You're
rain.
still standing outside in the pouring rain. Yep.
Yeah.
She smiles. The Dryad smiles and looks across at all of you and just kind of gives a little bit of a bow. And she reaches out, and as she places her hand on the tree, you watch small like vine tendrils like stretching off her hand and into the wood. And she walks forward, her body just melding into the trunk of this tree. And as her body passes in, like completely into the tree, you just watch as the tree just starts fading away into dust, just carried away by the wind.
Wow, I wish I could do that.
Does Kay recall the significance of what just happened?
She returned to the yes, you would know. She returned to the Feyrealm, or to the Feyrealm, or the Feywilds. Basically, and you know this because of the time you'd spent in the Feywild. You know how dryads essentially function. When they enter the material plane, they forge a tree. That's their tree, and that is their focal point. Part of their essence is locked to that tree. To return to the Feywild, they must return to their tree, in which passing through they regain the essence which they left behind, and that tree fades away. Yeah. If that tree is destroyed while they're in the material plane, part of their essence is lost forever. If that happens while they're in the material plane, they cannot return to the Feywild aside from another Fey taking them with them back into the Feywild, at which point they can never leave the Feywild again.
Yeah. Cool. For those of you who don't know,
Yes.
blah.
It would be nice if you filled us in. Carrie.
Which is why I was like, as this is happening, Kay is being like, hey, so this is what we just did. Regurgitate all of this masterful knowledge of the Fae, and then also re-look around to see if there's anywhere slightly reasonably okay that we could, like, dry, or at least not be in the pouring rain for the rest of the night.
Fair. Give me survival check. Nat 20?
Yeah.
You kiss that die.
Yeah.
That
Your
dice
dice
is
are
good
good
to
to
I
you.
like this die.
That die is good to you.
Kiss.
This is my baby die. She only gets rolled for very important life
Her
or
name
death
is
decisions.
Bella.
I know, I can't do that. That's a vampire.
Okay, I won't give her Bella the name Bella. Her name is Trixie.
I could give her Trixie.
So you head off and you, like, searching around, you do end up finding a large rock that's kind of jutting out and over. Once again, it's not a cave. It's not going to provide the greatest of cover, but it's cover.
But it's somewhat relatively dry.
Yeah, the way the wind is going, carrying a lot of the rain, it's blocking most of that. So you've got a dry patch there. So if nothing else, you can have the fire. Your tents might get a bit wet, but for the most part, under, like, where you can sit in there, it is dry.
Cool. It's focusing on setting a fire priority over anything else.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm gonna help him with that.
So you end up putting together. So you end up building up a fire. You're able to get some of your tents set up, and like part of your tents are sticking out where the rain's still clashing against them, but at least getting in and out of your tents, you're covered by the this outcropping of rocks. And looking around, you figured, like, this is probably a safe place. You're far away from the cave you encountered Kerrang and his group at.
Okay. I think I have some questions. Can you?
One sec. Kay sets up a little drying rack for his clothes next to the fire.
Okay.
Takes off his clothes, hangs them on the drying rack, and then uses the bedroll as a giant blanket and huddles next to the fire.
Okay.
Because I'm assuming a bedroll is essentially a sleeping bag, so I can go zip and essentially essentially use it as a more or less like blanket.
Do bedrolls have zippers?
I don't know if it has a zipper, but I'm assuming it's not sewn shut all the way, so it's just like a tube, because that seems like it's essentially like garbage.
Yeah, the bedroll would basically consist of you'd have something similar to a tube that has like clips or latches to hold it shut, but you can still, like, unclip those and have most of it just splayed out like a blanket.
Yeah. And now that he is caterpillared sort of in like his bedroll right next to the fire drying, he's like, okay. What?
Called that dryad your family?
Uh-huh.
It's like the least strange thing he's done.
Do you want to maybe explain that?
Their family.
Yes, I know the word family. Why is a dryad your family?
People you live with your entire...
Yes, I know the definition of family. How did it end up being that you are family with a dryad?
Because where I come from, I'm going to say the Fae for the first time to the entire party. In the Fae, all creatures are family.
I'm sorry.
It's Ohana.
No, stop.
Ohana means
Calm down. Did you say... Okay, first off, I have to roll an Arcana check, I'm guessing, if I know it, I understand what the Fae is. Or do
roll
I?
Arcana, roll a history check with advantage.
Oh, okay. Oh, jeez. History check?
Yep. See if you
That is a
remember.
19.
Oh yeah, you definitely you'd study back when you were in school. You'd studied a whole bunch of different things.
Definitely.
One of the things that you had learned about a little bit was the Feywild,
All right then.
which is a realm that lives parallel
Yeah.
to the material plane, but so like creatures like fairies, stuff like
Yeah.
that,
Would it-
originate from
Yeah.
the Feywilds.
Would it be all related to what I was originally studying?
With the Cataclysm?
Yeah.
Not to the same extent. By the time you had started studying the Cataclysm, they'd already essentially ruled out that it was caused by something with the Feywild.
Okay, yeah.
So it wasn't something that was high on the priority list of
Yeah.
investigation with it,
Okay.
but it was still something you learned about.
Yeah. So I'm just going to. I'm sorry, excuse me, did you say you're from the Feywilds? The astral plane of fairies and fey creatures?
So, question
The
for you.
ancestral home of the elves?
My statement is, I grew up there. Because Kay's never going to say he's from there, just to be
Yeah.
point of note. But yeah, he'll respond as, well, I grew up there, so
you
technically?
grew up in that makes everything makes so much more sense.
I'm sorry, does it?
Would I be able to explain what the Feywilds are like? I've only ever read about it in books.
Yeah, because you've never had a means
Yeah.
of reaching the Feywild
Yeah.
yourself.
So
But
what's going to
it's-
be a lot of fun is you're going to try to explain it, and then I'm just going to auto-correct it.
Have you ever met? Actually, I suppose we just met one. It was what was that we just met?
It was a dryad.
A dryad. So
They're everywhere. They're also kind of horny, especially in spring. Oh my goodness.
that
I'm wandering
fey
off.
creatures are
Well-
usually.
You're wandering off into the rain?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm just going to be pacing in the rain.
Yeah.
You're just like,
Fey
I
Well,
want...
he's talking about horny trees. I'm out.
Fey creatures are usually quite mischievous. Usually, from what I've read, at least what I understand, things don't make sense there.
No, they don't make sense to you.
Explain to me then this. I'm interested.
Okay.
We might as well get into it.
Okay,
How does
so,
it not make sense to me?
Anna,
Yeah.
remember how everyone was like, hey, this is a fence, and on this side of the fence, in between these two trees, apparently it's a whole thing, that's someone's property?
Yes.
Well, so weird rules like that are different in the Fae. So, for instance, where I lived, or where I grew up, was there's a beautiful lake. It's made of Kay's going to describe petroleum jelly as best he can without using the word petroleum jelly, because I don't think it exists in this world.
It does not.
Piles of goo.
Yeah, it's it's a substance that flows, but it's very thick and flammable. So just like how we treat water as a viable resource to everything we interact with, fire is something that it's a form of creation. So like every spring is a really weird time in the Fae. Where I live, the lake just lights on fire. There's giant frog creature things there. It's a mess. I normally go away, but rules are different. So things that you think are weird and strange aren't weird and strange there. They're just different. So you have all these rules here that are completely weird and I don't get it. But that's because for you, these rules are common.
You come from a magical land with different customs.
That!
Okay, I understand the concept of different territory and people doing different things. These half-orcs think slavery is okay. It's not a crazy concept.
Yes.
All right, okay. How did you get here?
I turned 18. And then I wasn't there anymore.
Do you want to go back?
Well, it was home, so yes, but also Fey creatures really like humans. Like, really like them, and when you're the only one around, it gets kind of uncomfortable.
So everyone wants to be your best friend.
A little bit more than that.
They want to touch you inappropriately.
So someone sent you away for your own good?
Maybe?
Okay.
Oh, no.
I'm surprised, honestly, that he's not some kind of half-dog creature. Please, things don't make sense.
Just call him a bitch.
That being said, the next time there is a crazy dryad or whatever we find in a cage, let's not, draw our swords right away.
Kate responds in the most sassy tone possible with, I never drew a weapon.
Yes, I managed to stop you.
I did nothing wrong. In this instance.
Yeah.
In this case,
I almost did something wrong.
we
but I
need to
didn't.
have a little bit of a conversation. I have 1 silver to my name, so I'm essentially a beggar the whole way through. Yeah. So, that's,
I have some change.
I'm happy that we were able to save your friend, Kay, but, we've kind of been left in a little bit of a predicament.
We could go back and murder them.
No, we are not going back and murdering them.
Just saying.
No, we should, I'll be honest.
I'm a neutral character.
I'm not as good at healing right now as you think I am. Eventually, in that cave, one of us probably would have died.
Yeah, real talk here. Were we actually considering murder? Just gonna go and say it.
I was not considering murder.
Thank you, and I appreciate that.
I thought about it.
And you
You know we can't murder all our problems, right? Those are people, terrible people, but they're people.
I didn't act on it. I thought about it. Sometimes people have bad thoughts.
Yes. I think you were gonna act on it.
But I didn't.
Okay, well, lucky us.
Which is where I'm walking this very fine neutral character line, because I did not trigger initiative.
next time, let's talk. Unless we know for sure that these people are bad people, like the ones that we are potentially chasing for Annah. Let's not just pick a fight with the half-orc barbarian in the cave with the giant axe.
Okay.
What do you think, Zugink?
I'm not here.
I know, I'm calling out.
Zugink is like
I'm
wandering in the
way
rain.
gone at this
All
point.
right.
Zugink went to go calm herself because we did a lot of things that she is not on board with.
We'll have
You
to...
might be later on change. I did not empty my pockets.
No. So, we may have to talk to Zugink when she gets back.
Well, it has been a long night.
It sure has.
Beanard did not help me find a cave at all. He's probably sleeping.
We may have to pick up some jobs along the way so we can get a little bit more cash flow. Your Dryad friend, too bad your Dryad friend left right away. Maybe she could have pointed us at some sort of, I don't know, something for us to make some copper on.
Mountain of Wealth?
Mountain of Wealth. I don't know if that's a thing. Maybe she had a leprechaun friend.
Kay is going to make a note for not today, but in the future, if he ever recognizes a dryad tree to see, while they're traipsing through the rest of the mountains, to see if he can talk to them and pose them the question.
Okay.
I'm telling you this because I may or may not remember next session.
Okay. That's when you should make a note for yourself.
I absolutely am, but I'm informing the greater group as well.
Fair enough. So, as the rain continues to pour and the night is there, what are people, like, I'm assuming that you're resting, but everyone's crashing there for the night?
I'm sitting on a log, and I'm staring out the cave, and I'm watching
It's
the
not a
lightning.
cave.
Or the outcropping, and I'm watching the lightning. I'm also waiting for Zugink to come back.
Okay.
Anna's laying awake in her tent having an existential crisis.
And
that
Kay,
her party members were going to murder someone.
and Kay,
Three someones.
Kay is comfortably fallen asleep next to the fire, because he is content with the fact that they saved his family.
Okay.
Zugink is in a tree. No intentions to sleep.
Zugink's in a tree. Just mad climbing this tree.
You stress climb. That's awesome.
So you're sitting in a tree, not sleeping for the night?
Yeah.
Okay, that will
Exhaustion.
impose exhaustion. Is Anna actually going to end up sleeping tonight?
I think Anna would eventually fall asleep.
Okay.
She's not intentionally trying to stay up. I think
Yeah.
she's just bothered.
Fair. And then you're sitting on the log, meditating. And
I can meditate.
I'm assuming this counts as a long rest.
This will count as a long rest.
Would I still get a short rest in the tree?
You'd have a short rest in the tree, but not a long rest.
Yeah, I know
And
I
you
wouldn't
suffer
get a
one
long
point of,
rest
yeah, you
because-
suffer 1 point of exhaustion.
It's more a question, can I use hit dice?
Yeah.
Yes.
Please
you can
let me use hit dice to regain my health.
After you met the business end of a battle or of a great axe.
You know, it does hurt.
Mm-hmm. 15 points of ow. So is anyone keeping watch aside, or are you just like? I think with meditation, you're technically able to do light activity,
Yeah.
such as keeping watch.
Yeah.
So as the night carries on, I'll get you to roll me a perception check.
5.
5?
Yeah.
It's really
That-
rainy.
That's
There-
going to jail.
Yeah, you're not. Aside from the heavy prattling of the rain against the ground, the rocks, and now the tents that are kind of jutting out, you're not. And like you occasionally hear those big claps of thunder that just shake you as the lightning just brightens up the area for those couple brief moments before fading back to black. Over the course of the night, Zugink does not return. And are you waking anyone up to do other watches, or are you just staying up the entire night?
I'll do my light trance and then I'll just let these two sleep.
Okay. So the night passes by, and for you, morning starts to come. Zugink, you're not sleeping in your tree.
Nope.
Roll me a perception check.
18.
18. So as you're sitting there, just like what you're sitting in the tree, and what are you doing?
I'm kind of just like sitting in the tree, just like watching. I'm soaked and like miserable and.
You're melancholy.
Oh, so much wet dog smell. So
The
much
angst is
wet
real.
dog smell.
Yeah, I pretty much got like as high in a tree as I could get, like without breaking things.
branches.
And I'm kind of just like sitting there, just like watching. Like I don't know what I'm looking for. I'm just kind of apparently looking very well, trying to distract myself from
Climbed a tree in a thunderstorm.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering about that.
I didn't say it was a good idea. I said it was what I did.
That's the moment where you roll percentile. You get Zugink to give you a number, and then if those numbers match, the tree gets struck by lightning.
No. That's bad.
So actually, I've already rolled for lightning. So as you're sitting in the tree and just kind of watching the constant, like, you see like the occasional like animal, like a deer or whatever, off in the distance, kind of like kind of hunkering down by a tree or whatnot, and taking what shelter they can. But you just keep coming, like you're watching out for a bit and just doing as best as you can to just distract yourself from, it's like, I want to kill those guys, and then probably also the realization you might have lost.
I didn't care about that part.
But that realization is still there.
Yeah.
It's like, I could have just died a couple hours ago.
Yeah.
Now, granted, for your morals, so you're struggling with them because you didn't accomplish your morals, but you didn't die. Moral quandary.
Yeah.
Existential crisis.
Yep.
You're not multiple people.
Yep. It's like you weren't able to achieve your goal of killing the wrongdoers,
And
as
also
your
like
mind saw
the
it,
idea of mortality.
as well as the acceptance of you may not have had enough gusto to.
Not all of my party on board, at least.
But the night comes and goes. Eventually, the rain does lighten up to a constant drizzle. It doesn't stop at any point, but it's lightened up, and even from where you're sitting, you can still see the little bit of outcropping of where the group is camped. You're far enough away that they can't necessarily spot you, but you're close enough that you still know where they are.
Because you can probably see the light.
You can see the light, and you can, because you know where they are, you know where to look. And so you can see that outcropping. As morning comes, what are you doing?
Continuing to sit there.
You're just sitting in a tree?
Is it
Yeah,
still raining?
until I see people come out.
It is still raining. There's a constant drizzle, but it's not nearly as heavy as it was the night before.
Or are my clothes dry?
By this point, yes, your clothes would be dry. They were with the cover of the rock, so...
Perfect. And next to a fire.
Yes.
Kay's gonna get up, get dressed, and try and shake off water from things. But yeah, mostly just get dressed, get packed.
Okay. Anna.
Yeah, Anna would wake up and pack up her stuff too. Check to see if Beanard's come back.
As you're gathering your stuff up to pack in the bag, you open up your bag and you see Beanard just like resting inside your backpack, on top of like a pouch or something like that, just in there, and he's just like sitting on top of it.
No, it's not a good morning. I was like, I am so mad at you right now. Fling him out, put my stuff in.
Beanard just kind of like looks at you, shakes a little bit, and
probably finds his way back on my shoulder.
Fine. Yep.
Yeah. All right. Collapse my tent and get ready for the day.
So by this point, you would have seen people moving around, as you can see the tents slowly get taken down.
We had roll. Zugink is interested to see if they come to find me at this point. So I'm sitting there.
I'm gonna eat breakfast.
Those self-destructive moments.
You need to write me roll my con check.
Yeah. Let me take care of my
stomach growling.
Yeah, my stomach seems to be more on the topic of Kay's the current state of being.
I will also consume a ration.
No, that's still bad, isn't it? Oh god, I've made a mistake.
Is that another one?
No, that part's fine.
Oh, okay.
Technically, it's 2.
Yes, con save, so it's only a 13, so I fail.
13?
At least based on my notes, I fail.
I don't know what your notes say, but...
Yeah.
My notes say that I have a threshold of which I need to pass, and 13 is not above it. But hey, if I'm wrong, I'm okay with that.
You're currently wrong.
Sweet!
So the spikes, once more, they've grown longer, but they haven't spread further.
Are you going to shave those yourself this morning, Kay?
How long are they? Are they an inch? Or are they longer than an inch, yes or no?
The last time you'd shaved them was yesterday morning.
Yeah.
They're getting close to being about an inch.
Cool. Rule while hiking, I'm gonna shave them when they get to be an inch. Not until then, just so that I can not injure my arm in case I need to actually use it.
Okay then. Zugink didn't come back last night.
Can I do a perception check just to see Zugink off in the distance?
I don't know how we lost a bugbear, but we lost a bugbear.
Roll me a perception check.
8.
I mean, I guess I'll also try because...
Yeah, at the mention of Zugink missing, anyone who wants to try and make a perception check can do so.
Oh, okay, that's an 8. God, I need to get used to these. So that's 11.
I rolled a 19.
Very good.
I'm like, where's Zugink?
There!
What do your eyes? What do your special eyes
Yeah,
see?
see? My brand!
You two are looking around, and you step out from around the rock outcropping, and you look. There aren't a lot of trees. During the storm, you wouldn't have necessarily been able to spot the bugbear just because of how dark it was.
Yeah.
But the direction you're looking, there's probably about 15 to 20 trees, so it's kind of hard to miss the big bugbear sitting in one of them.
I head up to the tree. I go underneath it. Zugink? Zugink, do you want to come down from the tree?
Is it time to go?
Well, almost. Is there anything on your mind, Zugink?
Not just getting ready to go.
In a tree like I always do.
What a family we are.
In a tree?
Dysfunctional as per normal.
You're getting ready in a tree?
Yes.
I mean, while we're at it, and we can, I can see trees. Are any of them a dryad tree?
Roll me perception check for that. Is that a 1?
No, that's a crit 20.
There's no dryad trees.
Son of a bitch.
I rolled a nat 20.
Dryads are rare.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. I'm well aware. I'm looking for them now.
Yeah.
I was sarcastically hoping that there'd be. Look, there's another one right there. Why? I don't know. Convenience, maybe. Maybe two dryad friends are like, "Yo, let's pop a squat into the human realm right here," and they grew right up next to each other. I don't know.
No, unfortunately there are currently no dryad trees in the area that you can spot.
Zugink, yesterday was a little difficult. I understand. But I hope you understand that yesterday we only did what we did in order to survive. And sometimes surviving means picking your battles. And as much as I, trust in your strength and the strength of our group, I didn't see things turning out well for us yesterday. So, and I can only heal people so much. So, when you're ready to come down, we'll go. And I will walk back to the group.
As he goes towards around, you just hear claws enter a tree, or just move.
Roll me an acrobatics check.
I
want you to fall out of the tree
with
so
disadvantage
bad.
because of exhaustion.
Oh yes. Okay, I wish it was the second roll.
Second roll was really good.
And first roll was
Not as good. Mega not as good.
Was it a 1?
No, not that bad. Just
So a 2.
So 3.
my second roll was a 19. It wasn't a 19. 11.
11? As you turn, you dig your claws into the tree. Just you start sliding down, then your feet land on one branch. It wasn't quite as sturdy, and so you just hear this snap as this branch breaks on the tree behind you. Zugink's like sliding down. You don't fall out of the tree, but then it brought like landing and expecting to like move and then keep going down, and then something just gives way. You're like, oh. Just get your claws a bit deeper into the tree as you finish climbing down.
Zugink, how are you feeling?
Awake. And I start walking on the trail. Or towards the trail.
So the group reconvenes. Actually, anyone can really make this one. But survival check to find your way back to the trail. Because you followed the dryad in the dark.
Yeah. That's a 12.
That is also a 12.
I guess the Warlock can roll. Oh, hey guys! I rolled an 18.
Okay, really good.
I can follow muddy footprints.
So, like the group, like kind of like is looking around. It takes you a little bit, but you start to find things like,
Yeah.
it's like this is familiar, and you work your way back up, and you do find your way back to the main path.
Mm-hmm.
You're a little bit further, like, and you recognize where you're standing on the path now. Like you're a bit further back from where you had where you had been when you encountered the cave.
Mm-hmm.
But as you progress forward, like you've, if nothing else, you can take solace in the fact that you had managed to save the dryad. You didn't have to kill people to do so. And as you're a little bit anxious at the same time, knowing that you're going to be passing by that cave again, continuing on the main path. The storm from the night before, it's mostly past. It's still drizzling, but it's no longer a heavy downpour. You can see where you're going. The air is still fairly cool, and it doesn't seem like it's going to get, the rain doesn't seem like it's going to get worse, but it seems like, as far as the eye can see, it's just that dreary overcast with the spattering of rain throughout. You travel on, and after about an hour, you spot that cave that you'd been in the night before, where you'd encountered the half-orcs. What are people doing?
Kay continues walking, but readies his bow just in case.
Okay.
I'm also going to continue walking. Like, I guess I'll take a glance over at the cave real quick.
I'm not going to look at it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to acknowledge it, except for the fact that I'm readying my bow because paranoia.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll glance at the cave.
Okay.
Anna's walking by the cave. She sees no problem.
Yeah. Well, and the cave is once again up a fair bit. So
Yeah, Anna's just going.
Double pace, not acknowledging the cave.
Okay. Roll me a perception check.
14.
14. As you're walking, you kind of glance up at the cave, and then as you're turning your head back forward, you catch a glimpse of what you think might have been a half-orc, but when you look back up, you see nothing.
Okay.
You progress forward. After several hours of travel, you come across a very distinct fork in the road. A hardy stone pillar sits at the corner, and it has carved into the stone one arrow pointing to the northwest, which points down a road that seems to be starting to descend the mountain. And the part of it that's carved pointing that way, says Gethra. And to the south, venturing along what seems to be precarious cliffs, which appear to have been reinforced, at least on the edge of the cliff edge, with almost like an intentionally crafted ridge of rocks. The sign is marked Stoneforge.
We'll head to Stoneforge.
Stoneforge?
Yeah.
Stoneforge.
continue on. At the very least, we can deliver the package we have.
So as you continue along your chosen path, after about an hour of travel, you find yourself now on the west-facing side of the mountain, and past the peaks of the mountain further off to the west. You can catch the sun slowly starting to sink beyond the horizon. The oranges and reds kind of cascading through the clouds. The rain has, by this point, subsided. For the most part, there's still that slight spattering of like it's just spitting rain. But once more, you kind of feel that cold mountain wind rolling as the sun drips off of the horizon. And I'll get everyone to write off another ration. And where are people looking? Or people can make survival checks to see if you can find a decent place to make camp, or whether you just do it off the side of the road.
I mean, it's a 12. So, like, maybe.
Modified 20.
Okay.
I wasn't gonna roll.
Okay, you don't have to if you want.
Yeah. I'll leave it to our more nature orientated companions.
So okay, you're looking around, like you're looking like up, trying to see if there's anything you can climb to that seems like it'd make for a good little dugout, and
Looking down.
Yeah, you end up like walking to the like edge of the the edge of the path, and you kind of look over, and maybe like a 5-6 foot drop down, you see another path that it comes out a fair bit, probably about 10-15 feet out before draping more off the cliff. But it seems like at one point in time there may have been more of a road there, but chunks of it have since worn away. But there's this one area that looks really sturdy that you could make camp on if you so chose.
But the path there is worn away in some spots.
Well, basically imagine, like, there's the road you're on, and then down a bit, what used to be another road here,
Okay.
but chunks of that have fallen away, and so it looks like they'd recarved a road.
Okay. Well, we can set up camp here.
I'll point it out to people, and then
That seems
hop
good.
on down.
Seems good to me.
Yep.
Sure.
Start a fire. Try and find some dry wood.
Sugi, do you think that's a good idea?
Kind of shrug.
Zugink is moody right now.
We've got a booty group.
Yeah.
So
Everyone's melancholy.
At least we haven't made anyone change alignments yet.
No.
So the group hops down, and it's pretty easy to get down there. Even Zuging's just like... but you're able. There's more than enough room on this ledge to kind of set up all your tents and build a fire and basically have this little area that's off the
Beaten path.
off the main trail. Yep.
Still raining? Sorry, or
Barely spitting.
barely spinning. Okay.
And so I'll get who's taking what spot checks.
I'll take
watches?
first.
First watch. Anyone taking second?
I will take the second.
I'll take third watch.
Third watch, and are you taking fourth?
Guess so.
Okay.
Whether or not Zugink can stay awake is another question, but...
Kay's, because it's ledge that
Yeah.
we're on, right? Kay is going to just like kind of sit out over the ledge and just look to see if there are any moving lights, things like that. That's what he's going to be focused on for the most part, is what's below them.
Okay.
Not really giving a damn to what's above them, even though he probably should.
Okay. So roll me your perception check. 12. So you're sitting kind of looking down the cliff, and you can see, like, you see running along, like, the cliff ridge a little bit. You see a couple of squirrels, like, scampering up, and they're, like, cheering and chattering back and forth at each other, and then one would try and run over to the other one, but it would just bolt off and circle around. They'd chatter at each other, and they're just back and forth between these two squirrels for probably the better part of an hour. So you just hear as they're like chattering at each other. But as your watch comes and goes, like you don't notice anyone passing by or anything like that. And
I go over to Theo's tent. Theo.
Okay. Okay. If you say my name one more time, I swear I will throw you down this mountain.
Can I at least use my grappling hook first?
No. I come out of my tent.
AK goes into his.
if it was me, I'd be like, okay, Theo.
Okay, Theo.
So you go and sleep and...
Yeah, I will start my watch.
Okay, give me a perception check.
Yeah, this one. Ooh, that one's a 19.
That's a 19 that there is.
Ooh. So as you're sitting there and you're just kind of relaxing and watching around, and you do hear like the clunking of wheels, of like wooden cart wheels on stone, and like stepping back a little bit, looking up, you can see a wagon being drawn by a horse. It's like just clunk, 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 and just like carrying along. And it passes by the area that you're at, and you see kind of a very stout dwarf just kind of hunched forward, and he's got his horse, and just the cart's just hooked directly onto the horse, and he kind of looks down, seeing the glisten of fire, and kind of waves as he sees you watching, and
Just continues
just
onward.
keeps carrying on.
Okay. Cool.
And aside from that, nothing terrible happens on your watch.
I'm going to be a horrible person, and I'm going to continue my watch to the third.
Okay.
And possibly even the fourth. Because I feel like some people need some sleep.
So the your third watch, the second part of your watch, so the third watch in total. Roll me another perception check.
Ooh, not as good. 7.
7.
Yep.
You're sitting there and you kind of get up and you walk over to the edge and looking down, seeing what there is, and you just have that brief moment as you feel the ground beneath like your foot, like right by the edge, kind of like give a little bit, and you kind of step back. It's like nope.
Yeah. That's a long way down.
And your second watch, your second watch comes and goes without you dying.
Second phase of
Second
the
phase
watch.
of your watch. Are you waiting someone up for the third?
No, I'm just going to continue on.
Elves, the ones who don't actually have to sleep.
She got her 4 out. He got his.
I got my 4 hours.
They got their 4 hours.
Yeah.
That being said, with the great thing about watches and elves, you can because the meditation has to be light activities, nothing more. You can technically keep watch.
Yeah.
But you sit there for your final watch and roll me one last perception check.
Up the counter.
Everyone's like, yeah, up the counter. Oh no, it's a nat 1.
So you're sitting there and you're just like kind of watching, and like it just kind of dawns on you. It's like still a little bit tired.
I fell back into a trance.
So you just,
I'm out of the trance.
Kind of lean yourself against the wall, and you're just kind of like, I'm just going to rest for a moment, and you just kind of zone out, and you're out for a couple hours.
Oh boy!
And then you just kind of like snap to, and you're like, oh shoot! And you're like quickly looking around, and
Everything's fine.
Everything's on fire.
Everything's on fire.
The fire by this point is burnt out.
I made a horrible mistake.
There's no one aware of feeding it. So the fire is burnt out. Nothing is on fire, thankfully, and it was not trying to light bushes on fire.
Yeah.
But you're kind of like jostled to like back in reality. Like you hear the group starting to move around a little bit in their tents.
Yep.
Except Kay, who's probably just
Dead.
No, I think Zugink is just like super passed out at this point. Like,
Yeah.
good rest after being awake for 48 hours.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I let you sleep.
Someone's gonna have to come wake her up.
Yep.
Gun save.
That's a 9.
That's a 9. Okay, where did I put that?
Is that just a straight 9? Do you add anything?
That's with math.
Okay, yeah.
At this point, I'm gonna wake up and be like, oh fuck, and start shaving.
Yep, the spines are definitely longer than an inch now.
Yeah.
And as you start trying to shave at them, you notice that they're going a little bit further up your arm than they were before. So roll me a dex check for arm shaving.
Yeah, it's a 10. It's better than the last time.
Stop throwing your die!
You're whittling away, and you have a couple moments where and then you kind of pull back and realign your knife. You only take 1 point of slashing damage as you're shaving your arm spines.
Theo!
Yeah. I'm awake. Yes. Yes, I
just casually take my bracer, put it on, and I'm like, oh, it's not gonna cover it up for much longer.
It's too bad we couldn't have asked your dryad friend. Imagine.
We were completely BSing that, though. I had no idea if they could do anything for this situation.
You have no idea, didn't ask.
Yeah, we didn't ask. Next time, ask your dryad friend.
We kind of had priorities.
Yep.
You're mostly not dying.
Yep.
Mostly.
Well.
So as the...
Guess that just means we have to hurry up to Stonehenge. Or
Forge.
Stonehenge.
We're going to Stonehenge now! We can't get a dryad to fix it, so we're going to get the druids to fix it. Come on! I'm fixing that. I can't fix that. Nope. No.
Oh, as always, I'm putting the shavings of the collective
into your bag?
Into my bag.
Okay.
Because I don't know what I'm going to use it for yet, but something tells me I can crush up those bones into something. Pretty much, yeah. I'm just going to carry cursed arrow tips.
Grind it into dust and then into people's face and they breathe the cursed
bone
marrow.
No!
So I don't think Anna would appreciate that.
No.
So instead of pocket sand, it's like pocket crystal.
Pocket sand!
But Anna has pocket spider.
Anna's a pocket spider.
Pocket spiders!
That's just as... That's almost as equally as bad as pocket curse. Please breathe in.
Anna will pack up as per normal.
Is anyone waking up Zugink or Kay? Oh, you're already awake.
No,
Yeah.
I'm...
You're already awake, but
I
does
will
anyone
very
wake up Zugink?
gingerly go up to Zugink's tank and be like, Zugink?
And I go, huh? Huh? Watch?
No, it's morning, Zugink.
Huh? Did I sleep through the watch?
No, I handled it last night. You looked like you needed a little bit of a break. Don't worry about it. Let's just get ready and let's get on our way. And I walk away.
I'm trying to process that I didn't just sleep through my watch.
No, you absolutely did.
You did. Just it was no longer your watch.
Yeah.
Alrighty. But with that, you are now into day 6 of your travel to Stoneforge. And that is where we're going to end tonight's session. It is 10:01.
Mm-hmm.
And so thank you all for tuning in. Once again, thank you for Dude I'm a Boss 3300. Thank you very much for the donation. And we will be back on Thursday. At least myself, Anna, and Theioryn. So Mel and Jamie will be back for
The spooks.
the spooks on Halloween, as I'll be attempting to run my first horror D&D thing. We'll see how it goes. Jamie's like, I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah, if there's ghosts, I'll fucking kill you. Straight up.
Promises.
You think people are having problems killing half-orcs today? Whoa!
Alrighty, we'll be back. Thank you all for tuning in, and have yourselves a great Halloween.
Bye, guys.